Okay.
Where was Gentle committed, by the way?
Our Father in heaven, we're so thankful for this day. We thank you for another opportunity for two great schools to compete. Father, thankful for the watch over their players and keep them safe, help them to do well. Father, I pray for our Lipscomb Academy Mustangs. We pray for the seniors and thank you for what they have done at this place and how they represented us in a Christ-like manner. Father, I pray for all of us tonight that your spirit will dwell in this place and will compete at a high level of competition. Father, we ask that everything in our hearts, everything in our minds, everything in our bodies and souls will represent you. We ask that you keep us safe tonight, help us to walk like you walk, talk like you walk, and pray and play like you want us to. We ask you to empower us to love you with everything we have and love others, love ourselves. Help us to win today because you made it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
One game left in the high school football regular season in Division II AAA. And tonight's campus of Lipscomb Academy. Here we are. And it's the McCallie Blue Tornado and the Mustangs of Lipscomb Academy. Week 11 of the high school football season. The regular season finale is here. Happy Friday evening to everyone.
McCallie team, #1 right now in the state of Tennessee, even getting some votes in the top 25 nationally, 9-0, looking about as good as any team in the country, and they're going up against the Lipscomb Academy team that is trying to get to 500 tonight. This is a storied program. They are not used to losing. They are not comfortable with losing. They've had some tough games this season, but McCallie, they're a team 9-0. They've clinched #1 spot. This is a Lipscomb Academy team that I think wants to use tonight to make a statement. I think they're going to look good, especially with being on senior night. Some of these players can be stepping onto this field potentially for the last time.
It's going to be a fun one to watch tonight as the Blue Tornado and Ralph Potter look to complete another 10-0 regular season. But they got to go through this Mustang program that has consistently improved under first-year coach Kevin Mawai. Cy Pepper set to get things underway. And for the final time in the regular season, let's play some football, shall we? It's a high pooch kick, and it's up to number 9, and he is quickly devoured at the 29-yard line. I believe that is Sean Couvetier taking the kickoff. And that's where the Blue Tornado will start, 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Before we get things going, let's look at the starting lineup for the McCallie Blue Tornado. Tramari Watkins, at left tackle. Jaden Hudgens-Key, Nathan Berthume, Carson Kaufman, and Oliver Camelane on the offensive line. Matthew Abear, the senior. Noah Sargent, the senior, at the receiver position. Javon McMahon, the running back. Carson Jensel at tight end. And your quarterback, Jay St. Hilaire, who starts this drive off with a fumble. I believe the ball was fumbled, but the Blue Tornado able to recover.
And fumbles, that's going to be something to watch out for, CJ. You go back to the Blue Tornadoes game last week against Knoxville Catholic. They had a pair of fumbles in that game that really almost cost them. Only won that game 27-31. Took a touchdown in the last 2 minutes to be able to secure that game. So fumbles, an issue for this team last week. Something to look out for here tonight.
This is a team that prides itself on not beating themselves. Let's see how they respond. 2nd down and 10. They'll hand to McMahon, I believe, and he's going to fight his way forward to about the 37-yard line. He's going to gain 8 yards, I believe. Set up 3rd down.
Yeah, Javon McMahon over at that backfield. He's going to be the guy to really look out for. This is the guy, 1,213 rushing yards, 18 total touchdowns, averages over 134 rushing yards per game, and 6.5 yards per carry. He is an absolute menace in the backfield. Lipscomb Academy going to have to keep their eyes out for him all night long.
5'10", 194-pound senior running back who, and I talked to the radio play-by-play voice for McCallie, and he always says that this guy always fights for every yard he gets. And we have a quick timeout by McCallie.
Yeah, never a bad idea to settle things down and talk it over. Even if it is a little bit early in the game, you want to start out getting things going correctly, especially on those 3rd down conversions. We see so many times, where games are won and lost on 3rd down. So if you don't feel comfortable with your line, you think maybe things are a little bit shaky in terms of communication, call that timeout, talk it over, get that play right, and make sure that all 11 are on the same page.
Absolutely, and while we have time, let's go over the Lipscomb Academy defense, and we start with Mason Baker, the senior, in for sophomore defensive lineman Danny Brown, Tony Carter, Amir Leonard, John Charles getting the start at defensive tackle, and Michael Hubble, the senior. Nathan Morton, Chris Thompson on the outside linebacker spots, and a big storyline today that we noticed just as a kickoff. No Edwin Spillman, the Tennessee commit, the absolute stud at the inside linebacker, in street clothes today. Caleb Beasley, however, is on the field, as is Bo Strickland, senior Matthew Clay at safety, and CJ Jim Coyley rounding out the 11 on defense for Lipscomb Academy. 3rd down and 3. They place the ball at the 37-yard line. Here's Jay St. Hilaire. He'll give to, for my estimation, that was number 26, Keelan Simon. I don't think he got very much.
Yeah, he did a nice job there from Lipscomb Academy, especially coming after the timeout called by McCallie to be ready for that run. And looks like McCallie, they're going to go ahead and potentially get aggressive here early. They've got, I'm counting 22 guys out on the field, so we'll see what they're looking to do here.
We have a little chaos going on. 4th down and 2 is the situation here. And it looks like they're going to punt it away. Gordon Lewis on the punt for McCallie. Kick is a low line drive that will be picked up by, I believe, that is number 2. quickly looking to find who that was, and that was Bo Strickland on the return.
Yeah, Bo Strickland, he's a guy that can be dangerous with the ball in his hands, but we're going to get a look at this Lipscomb Academy offense here, and I'm really going to be interested to see how they look. This is an offense that Lipscomb Academy that has really gotten things going here over the last few weeks, especially since Jackson Kilborg took the starting reins. He's been very efficient back there.
And he quickly gets them to jump off sides. That's a good way to start if you're Lipscomb Academy. Jackson Kilborg, the senior, getting his third start of the season at quarterback for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was Paul DeGuy over on that edge that jumped a little bit early. He's going to be a guy to look out for. 7 sacks on the season, but that's what you want to see from Lipscomb Academy. First possession, didn't even snap the ball and got a free 5 yards.
This is an offense that is slowly finding its rhythm in the dying embers of the regular season, and Jackson Kilborg a big reason why, stabilizing the quarterback position. 1st and 10. Kilborg, quick throw, catch made. Cam Blivens, the sophomore.
Yeah, and I like that there from Lipscomb Academy. You got the free 5 yards, so really anything in the playbook that you want to call is pretty much free reign for the next 2 plays. So try to get it to one of your playmakers, a guy that is electric with the ball in his hands, and Cam Blivens only got a few yards, but that few yards enough to move the sticks.
1st and 10 Mustangs, and offensively, John Adair, Chauncey Gooden, Jack Matheson are the juniors, Tristan Dillon, the sophomore, and Bo Smith at right tackle, the senior. Kilborg, Zechariah Crockett, and Micah Burton in the backfield. Blivens and Lorick, Andy Smith at tight end for this Mustang offense. And here they go. Here's Crockett, and he does not get much.
And Zechariah Crockett, number 32, he's going to be a guy to look out for all night long. He has seen an increased snap count really over the last 2 weeks. The running back's a little bit banged up for Lipscomb Academy, but you know what they say, next man up, and when you get that opportunity, you have to seize it. Zechariah Crockett, he has embodied that, a pair of touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. Number 32, I expect him to be very, very active tonight for the Mustangs.
I believe that was Bear Cortez on the tackle in the backfield. Loss of 1 for the Mustangs. Here's 2nd down, empty backfield. Kilborg looking over the middle, pass caught. I believe that was number 1, Caleb Beasley.
Yeah, we've seen Caleb Beasley kind of get some more snaps as the season's run along as a receiver. Obviously, the 4-star DB, number 1 player in the state of Tennessee. But they said that they were going to try to get him involved in the offense. And it seems like more and more as the season has gone on, he has made some plays on the offensive end. So, hey, if you're a fan of Rocky Top over in Knoxville and watching the game, very encouraging to see your DB making catches like that on the offensive end.
If you're a fan of Tennessee, there are 3 guys on this team between both squads you got in your recruiting class. So 3rd down and 6, the ball placed at the 45-yard line of Lipscomb Academy. Crockett in the backfield with Kilborg. He'll take the shotgun snap. He's looking pressured. He cannot get away from the pressure. A sack by number 8, Paul Marie DeGee.
Yeah, DeGee, he's who we were talking about earlier, leads this team in sacks with a total of 7, making that number 8 for number 8 on the field. He is a guy that Lipscomb Academy is going to have to be very, very aware of already just a few plays in, making his presence known with a massive 3rd down sack.
Defensively, they bend but don't break, the Blue Tornado. It's a good start for the defense early on. Cole Schulman on to punt. That's a rocket. That's going to be down at the 22-yard line.
And that's what you love to see right there. Father and son over on the sideline. Coach Schulman and his son Cole dapping up at the end of that one. I don't blame Pops on that. What a boot. As you mentioned, a rocket punt there from Cole Schulman. And we talk about this so much, in the booth, but sometimes it's kind of easy to lose sight of it. Flipping the field, such an important aspect. And to give that opportunity to your defense, especially with a rocking offense like McCallie, that's a massive, massive factor. So we'll see what the defense can do with it, but big punt from Cole Schulman. Keep that in mind if McCallie gets held to another punt.
2nd possession for the Blue Tornado. Jay St. Hilaire in the backfield. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look. Quick throw over the middle to McMahon. He's there at the 35. He jumps over a tackle to the 40, and he is down at the 45-yard line. A 20. I believe that is a 22. No, 20. They're going to give him 23 yards on that carry. and that catch and run.
Yeah, and Javon McMahon, he's more of a runner, not a guy that's really known to catch the ball out of the backfield. Just 10 receptions in 9 games so far. But, hey, when you have a guy open, you give him that check down. He is basically a runner once he gets going with it being such a short pass.
McMahon throws. There's Gentle. Gentle across midfield, and he carries defenders into Lipscomb Academy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Boy.
Carson Gentle doubling as the tight end.
Yeah, and you know, if you're a Coach Potter from McCallie right now, you've got to love the way you start off this drive. You dump it off quick to your running back. He gets you about 20 yards, and you go to your big tight end to get a few more on the next play. So for McCallie to, in not necessarily ease, but with really simple plays, be moving their way down the field, just simple little dump offs, finding their ways of yards after catch to get into Lipscomb Academy territory. Very, very promising here for their offense.
In Mustang territory, 1st and 10. St. Hilaire will sprint. He's going to throw. It's a low pass, but it's caught. He's still fighting defenders. He's still on his feet to the 30 and out of bounds inside the 30 to the 29. That was number 24, Keyshawn Tabuto.
Yeah, and that was just another play where Lipscomb Academy, they unfortunately just weren't able to wrap up the man on a dump-off there in McCallie. They've been utilizing those dump-offs really all drive long, but that was really one where St. Hilaire had to work for it. A little bit of pressure, had to get that pass under duress. Low throw, but was able to get it to his running back enough to where he could get that throw and put it all the way over to the 30.
1st and 10, the ball at the 31. Here's McMahon. He's going to run off the right side of the 30 to the 25, and he is out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. So right at or near the sticks.
Yeah, and if I'm head coach Kevin Mawai right now in this defense, I'm not loving the tackling I'm seeing right now. We've seen a multitude of broken tackles here from this Blue Tornado offense, and tackling, that's one of the things that Lipscomb Academy, if you were to nitpick them on a few things, they have struggled to wrap guys up a few times in a couple of games throughout this year. The NBA game and the Baylor game are 2 games that really stick out to me during district play, to where we saw them miss some tackles, and that costed them, and those are 2 games that they lost.
So 2nd and 1, they give him 9 yards on that run. St. Hilaire will give to McMahon again, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. He's still on his feet, driving inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, now you're in a situation for the Blue Tornado to where you're looking at 1st and goal, and your offense is just chugging on down the field. Lipscomb Academy, I think that if you can just try to find a way to hold McCallie to 3, I think you take that as a victory, especially with how fluent this drive has been. We've not seen McCallie have 1 negative play so far.
Constant movement forward for this offense, and it is predicated on the running game. That's the bread and butter of this Blue Tornado offense. They run the football, and they run it effectively. 2nd down 1, the ball at the 9-yard line. Here's Siam, and he is met, but he fights his way forward down inside the 5, and a late flag at the end.
We'll see what this is, but once again, the Blue Tornado just kind of pushing their way along, chugging, and really just those extra yards. That's been the story so far for them, it feels like, on this drive, just continuing to push forward.
As the officials are talking it over, we got a personal foul, and it's a face mask on the defense. So they're going to put it half the distance to the goal, and it will be an automatic 1st down for the Blue Tornado.
Yeah, and if you're the Mustangs, you never want to give the yardage up on a face mask, typically a 15-yard penalty. The damage not as big in terms of the yards because of it being an and goal situation, but the big thing, McCallie now gets a free down. It's back to 1st down the way it was. They have 3, potentially 4 chances to try and punch it in the end zone instead of just 2 or 3.
So they're sitting at the 1, and here's St. Hilaire. He'll give to McMahon, and McMahon will slice his way into the end zone to open the scoring here tonight for the Blue Tornado.
Yeah, and I think that was a picture-perfect drive for McCallie. If you are over on that white and blue sideline, you love everything about what you just saw. Efficient, tough, very, very gritty overall, and they were able to just kind of storm their way down the field against the Mustangs. And Lipscomb Academy didn't really have much to say about it. So for McCallie, that is a really encouraging drive here in the 1st quarter. While for Lipscomb Academy, Kevin Amato, the D coordinator, he is not going to be thrilled whatsoever about what he saw on that drive. A lot of missed tackles. McCallie pretty much having their way throughout that entirety of that drive.
The kick is up and good by Elliott Arnold, the 5'10", 160-pound junior. And our new score with 4:28 to go in the 1st quarter, McCallie 7, Lipscomb Academy 0. Brandon talking to the radio man for the McCallie Blue Tornado. They rave about everyone on this offense, in particular Javon McMahon, and he was able to put it into the end zone for the Blue Tornado. 7-0 to score.
Yeah, Javon McMahon, he's the X factor for this offense. I think it's definitely safe to say that. And this is a McCallie team that, I mean, when you look at the stats for them, they are very, very run-driven. I mean, this is a team that loves to pound the football. They love to run it down your throat. I mean, you compare the numbers, 313 carries overall for this team compared to just 207 passing attempts. So we're looking at a team that loves to run it almost 60% of the time of their plays when they're on the offensive side. So if you're Lipscomb Academy, you know that's coming, but that's why those things like being in position, making sure that you wrap up and secure that tackle, that's why that's so important, because you have a guy like Javon McMahon back there that when you don't wrap up, when you don't secure him, he's going to be able to wiggle his way through, power his way past you, and it's going to keep this McCallie team going down the field, as you saw right there on that first drive. So it's going to be interesting to see how things look on the next one, because that one right there, that was all McCallie on that possession.
Arnold will kick it off, and it is going to be fielded by, I believe that was Dylan Lorick, and in the end zone, and that's a touchback. Lipscomb Academy will start at the 20.
You know, we talked about the run game for McCallie's offense being a big part, but, you know, you turn things over to Lipscomb Academy, and it's really the same thing for them. You know, they have a trio of running backs with Drew Patterson, Micah Burton, and Zechariah Crockett, to where you can really hand it off to any of them, and they will find a way to typically make a play, whether it be in a similar way or in a different way. But this is a team in Lipscomb Academy where they're going to have to make sure that they keep up on the scoreboard and stay on schedule, stay in front of the sticks. The last thing you want to do is get yourself into a second and long, third and long situation, especially knowing that McCallie's offense, the way they looked on that second possession.
Kilberg calming everything down at the line of scrimmage, and we have a flag coming from the back judge. I believe that is going to be a delay of game on the offense.
Yeah, and we just talked about staying in front of the sticks, and you give a free 5 yards to where now 1st and 15 is going to be a little bit tough. It kind of closes out some of the options that you have in the playbook. So you do have 3 downs to try to get all that back, but just little things like that, CJ, those are the things that you cannot afford against a team that comes in undefeated.
If you want to win, you've got to be on your P's and Q's, as everything is said. So 1st down and 15. Kilberg trying to get everything started. Here he goes. Trying to get it out there. It's broken up. Incomplete, intended for Dylan Lorick. There on the coverage, the senior Marcellus Barnes Jr., as well as number 3, Carson Lawrence, the safety.
Yeah, and Kilberg, he saw Lorick over on that right side. It was man-to-man coverage. Looked like he was going to have him on a one-on-one situation, but that safety for McCallie drifted over a little bit last minute right as Kilberg threw that ball. Didn't really have a chance, unfortunately, to get that to him.
Second down, here's Kilberg running, and he's going to force his way. He's still on his feet to the 20, to the 25. Nice run from the quarterback.
Yeah, that was a great play right there for the senior Jackson Kilberg. And, you know, you think that the logic on that play for Lipscomb Academy is, okay, make this 3rd manageable, get me to around a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 7 situation. Jackson Kilberg, he keeps those legs churning, and all of a sudden, you're looking at from 3rd and manageable to 3rd and potentially favorable, just 2 or 3 yards, really, that you have to earn, and it really opens up that playbook, which, if you're an offensive coordinator, you love the sound of that.
A run of 12 yards from Kilberg. Here's 3rd down. He drops back. He's looking. He's got an open man, and it's Lorick at the 45 across midfield, and he is out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Deshaun Tipton, the sophomore. 1st down, Lipscomb Academy.
Yeah, and dinner after the game might be on Jackson Kilberg for this offensive line. Look at that protection that he had to stand in that pocket, wait for Lord to get open, really scan the field to hit the open man. Without that pass protection, we saw that on the last 3rd down, that play is not possible. So Kilberg and Lord, they'll get the glory, rightfully so, but that offensive line, without their blocking, without that pass protection, that play nowhere near possible. Give those 5 guys up front a ton of credit.
It's almost as if they have a Hall of Fame offensive lineman as their head coach. 1st and 10. Kilberg looking, going over the middle. It's caught to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Lipscomb Academy answers in a big way, and that was number 2, Bo Strickland.
How about that play once again? Lipscomb Academy, great protection at that front five. Kilberg had the time to wait, looked, scanned the field. There were 4 receivers over at that left side, and McCallie's defense, they just kind of got lost there with Bo Strickland being that man in the middle to break open. Kilberg, a great job finding him, hit him accurately in stride, and Bo Strickland, that athleticism, did the rest of the job. What a drive there for Lipscomb Academy, exactly the response they needed.
The kick is up, and the kick is good from Cy Peppers, and your score with 3:26 to go, Lipscomb Academy and McCallie tied at 7.
And you know, CJ, we talked about it. This is a Mustangs team that they see McCallie coming into their building, 9-0, #1 team in the state, senior night. They see it as a chance to make a statement, man. They want to put the state on notice. The Lipscomb Academy, they're still that top powerhouse, even despite some of the struggles that they had throughout this season. So, you know, we saw McCallie. They got that first punch in, but the #1 thing you want to see as a football team is that you have that ability to punch right back. And Lipscomb Academy, they did that and then some, especially considering that they started that drive on a sour note with that delayed game penalty.
As it gets set to kick things off, Lipscomb Academy, it's been a bit of a roller coaster this season roster-wise, but talking to Kevin Mawai yesterday, he's still very confident in this team's ability to continue to grow and continue to learn, and that's something that he has been impressed with, and this is a good response from this squad. So we're up, and we've got another pooch kick, and it's going to be fielded by Couvetier, and they're not going to do anything about that. They're just going to take the ball on offense.
Yeah, you know, CJ, just to kind of follow up that point that you mentioned, you know, this is the Lipscomb Academy offense. I know a lot of people look at the record, they look at the stats, and they're like, man, the Mustangs struggling this season. You got to remember how much turnover that they've had. They've had 3 different starting quarterbacks. Started out with Deuce Knight, ended up going back home to Mississippi, had Taft Schaefer in there for a few weeks, and now Jackson Kilberg. There's been some injuries on the offensive line. The running backs have had a few injuries. So this is a Lipscomb Academy team where it's not necessarily about the talent. This is a team that is one of the most talented teams in the state, just like everyone thought they were at the beginning of the season. Just a lot of turnover throughout that offense, and it's taken them some time to gel and get it together.
Gentle goes in motion. Here's the run to McMahon, and he is not going to go anywhere. Stopped by number 9. I believe that was number 9. No, 5, excuse me. Jim Coyley there on the tackle.
Yeah, Lipscomb Academy, nice job there defending the run. That was the #1 thing that we saw McCallie really kind of got them on in that last drive. They were pretty much able to run the ball with will, and the Mustangs didn't have many answers for it. So for them to only get really about 1.5 yards on that first carry, encouraging there for the Mustangs defense.
They gave him 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 at the 23 of the Blue Tornado. In their white jerseys with the blue numbers and blue trim on the side. Here's St. Hilaire looking over the middle. He's got, I believe that is Tabuto. He makes a man miss. Whoa, he's got the juice. He's down the sideline to the 40 and out of bounds.
I love how you put that. He's got the juice, and indeed he did. But we saw yet again, Lipscomb Academy not able to wrap up their load in between the legs. Could have had a chance to maybe get him down after about 3 or 4 yards on the catch, but unfortunately not able to get him. And you saw what that turned into, an extra 10 yards after the fact, right there, right at the 20-yard line. He just wasn't able to get to him, and that ended up in about an extra 15 yards that the Blue Tornado were able to get to move the sticks for a first down.
People in McCallie are excited about number 24. They couldn't stop gushing about this sophomore receiver. 1st and 10 ball at the 37. Here's St. Hilaire. He sidesteps. He tries to run, and he's just going to get what he can and get down. And then a flag comes in really late.
Yeah, it makes you wonder maybe if there was a little bit of extracurricular after the play, because, like, man, he was already down there when that flag was thrown. The play was dead, so you maybe wonder if there was a word said or maybe a push or a shove there after the play.
So we're waiting for the official call from the head referee, the white hat. Personal foul against Lipscomb Academy. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Lipscomb Academy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay right now, and it looks like one of the Mustangs players, they kind of went down and said something or did something there after McMahon got wrapped up, and the referee, he spotted that immediately after the play. That's one where if you're Kevin Mawai, that just makes you sick. You get a great stop, and You get second and long with this McCallie offense, and you gift them not only a first down, but now you get them all the way in your own territory.
Those penalties take them inside the 35 of Lipscomb Academy. Kevin Mawai obviously unhappy with those calls.
Yeah, he is seething on the sideline right now. I was looking at him just as I was talking about how I was sure he wasn't happy, and he was motioning towards his defense. He did not like something, and it looks like he's giving the officials a bit of an earful there as well.
Well, when it comes to football matters and matters of success and things that go on the football field, there's no one better to talk to than a man who is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2019. Kevin Mawai, one of the great interior offensive linemen to ever play in the National Football League. He spent a couple of years in the NFL as an assistant before getting the opportunity to coach at the high school level. And when I talked to him yesterday, he gushed about all the opportunities and all the things that he has been able to do, but he said high school football is something special, and he just wanted to be around and give back to the game. So,
yeah, there's just something pure about it at this level. You know, you look at the NFL, you look at college, obviously it's so amazing, so unique in their own ways, but there's just something special about high school football, about those Friday nights. So cool to see Kevin Mawai really enjoying that and embracing that.
2.5 to go, less than 2.5 to go. Here's a pitch to Tabuto. He could not get corralled in the backfield, and then he's just going to get forward as much as he could. And I believe he's going to be brought down at the 34-yard line. At the end of all that, it was a loss of 1.
Yeah, there was a lot that happened there in about a 5 to 10 second span. Tabuto kind of muffed that ball a little bit, had to corral it, then he broke 1 or 2 tackles, looked like he maybe make something out of it. Really, if you look at McCallie for that play, that was probably the best case scenario. Lipscomb Academy, they snuffed that out pretty well. You almost had a fumble on that play. So for the Mustangs, nice way for them to start. That first down defense for them has been very impressive to start out. They're going to have to string it together on second and third down as well, though.
2-yard loss makes it 2nd and 12 at the Lipscomb Academy 35. Here's St. Hilaire dropping back. He's looking over the middle. He's got Gentle. He sheds off a tackle at the 25 to the 20, and he is down at the 16-yard line. Get open in the middle and make something happen, and that is exactly what Carson Gentle did.
And if Lipscomb Academy defensively, if they don't start doing the wrap-up tackle, if they do not start bringing that guy down on the first attempt, McCallie, they're going to be able to just do that all day to where they run the football and they just dump it off 2 or 3 yards, because the run after catch is going to be such a big factor for them. And if you're able to tackle and wrap them up at that first point, it takes some of that a little bit away, but they're not really forcing McCallie to have to spread out and go over the top really, because it's all happening with those yards after the catch, and they're going to have to start tackling. Those fundamentals so important, and that's something that the Mustangs, they've struggled with in this first quarter.
3 receivers up top, 1 to the bottom. Here's St. Hilaire dropping back. He's looking. He's throwing. Gets caught, and he is knocked down quickly at the 15. Nolan Sargent there on the catch, and I believe the tackle is made by number 4, Nathan Morton.
Yeah, Nathan Morton, maybe he heard me up here. He said, you want a tackle here? I'll give you one. That was a really impressive wrap up there. No chance for McCallie to really get anything after the catch. And that is really what it's going to come down to for Lipscomb Academy. Are they going to be able to really hone in on those fundamentals, being disciplined, not taking penalties? We've seen them struggle with that in the first quarter so far. Wrapping up, getting the guy down at first contact. Those are the 2 things this defense is going to have to shore up on.
Got time for maybe one more play unless they decide not to run a play. I think they will as the seconds tick away. They'll hand to McMahon. McMahon will come across. He's going to find his way into the end zone. That is another McCallie touchdown in the dying embers of quarter number 1. Javon McMahon slides in from 13 yards out, and the Blue Tornado are back in front.
Touchdown number 20 on the year for Javon McMahon, and that one so impressive. The coaches at McCallie, they're going to love going back and looking at this one on film. Just look at that cut that he made. The ball-carrying vision really weave his way in between the tackles. There was a lot of traffic there. Just one little stutter step over by the 5-yard line as well. That cut to move away from that Mustangs defender. And he just let the space and the speed for him do the rest.
Arnold's kick fired through the uprights, and that's how quarter number 1 will end. And our new score, McCallie 14, Lipscomb Academy 7.
And that's an unfortunate way for the Mustangs to end that first quarter. It looked like they maybe had a little bit of momentum after they gotten that touchdown there with Bo Strickland, and then they had a big stop there on the first play of the possession. But you have to go back to that massive unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, CJ. I mean, we saw McCallie, they were at around the 26-yard line when that play happened, and that moved McCallie all the way up to the 35. So they gave him about 30 or 40 free yards on the penalty, and McCallie really made them pay. It switched not just the field positioning on that drive, but it also switched the momentum that Lipscomb Academy has. Well, that is a big, big difference going from a tackle and a 2-yard loss to about 30 free yards that they just gifted the Blue Tornado to set them up there for that touchdown.
And in recent weeks, after our conversation with Kevin Mawai, in recent weeks he had praised the team's ability to cut down on those types of penalties, and not a bad time for it to rear its ugly head.
Yeah, you know, we saw in the NBA game, that was a game Lipscomb Academy lost by less than a score, and there was a big, big penalty at the end of that, and a sportsmanlike conduct that wiped off a run from Zachariah Crockett that would have set the Mustangs up at the 1, and they ended up getting stopped at the goal line and lost that game in the final seconds. So we've already seen this Mustangs team drop a game potentially because of those little unsportsmanlike conduct plays, the discipline, things of that nature that you really try to hone in on as a coach, and it's just really up to the players to receive that message, live that message out, and make sure that you don't hurt the football team. You hear that phrase so much, so often. Unfortunately, the Mustangs hurt themselves on that drive, and the Blue Tornado made them pay and scored on it.
How do you respond as the second quarter, the clock starts on quarter number 2? So here's Kilberg with an empty backfield. He'll drop. He's going to look. He's got time. He runs out of time. He's going to scramble. Throw. He's got a wide open Crockett, and he's going to get down at the 31-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup and a first down. No, that is not. That is I misread the yard lines. So the ball will be placed at the 27. At the end of the day, it's a 7-yard pickup for Zachariah Crockett. Got open for the quarterback and got down. Second down.
3 receivers over to the right side of Kilburg. Watch out for one of them to maybe stick over at the line of scrimmage, maybe go for a screenplay. McCallie playing very deep secondary-wise.
Kilburg will drop. He's going to throw over the middle, incomplete. A bit of a miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. I believe that the receiver was actually the tight end, Andy Smith, number 8.
Yeah, it looked like Kilburg thought he was going to maybe stop for a comeback or a curl route, and Smith kind of cut over the left side towards midfield, and Kilburg maybe just didn't read that, or maybe Smith had to improvise a little bit on that route, knowing the coverage was a little bit sticky.
So it's going to set up 3rd down and 3. It's a good position to be in, even though it is 3rd down. You got the playbook at your disposal. Kilburg will drop on 3rd down. He's going to look. He's going to run to his right. He's going to throw up, and it is incomplete. That should have been intercepted. Couvetier, the junior, and Tipton, the sophomore, there to break it up. It's 4th down.
Yeah, those are the guys that you want to have back there for McCallie. Tipton especially, one of the leaders in interceptions on this McCallie team throughout the year. Has 3 or 4 so far this season. But you go back to that pass there from Kilburg. It looked like he was trying to look down the field, was trying to push. I honestly think that he maybe could have dumped it off there to the receiver. I believe that was Dylan Warwick that was sitting there, tried to think big and get it over to Andy Smith, but the double coverage almost made him pay and pick that off. Very, very fortunate there for the Mustangs to punt this.
Cole Schulman's kick is away. It's another high one, but it will be returnable. He's at the 35 to the 40. Barnes is going to get to the 45 before being brought down at the 47-yard line by a host of gray-shirted, pink-numbered Lipscomb Academy Mustangs.
I gotta be honest, I love the threads, honestly, for breast cancer awareness. The gray and pink, a very smooth look here for the Mustangs. They've worn those uniforms for a couple of years for the home games here in October, and maybe not the typical black and purple look that you see from this team, but I gotta be honest, I love it. It's for a great cause. Nice to see those donning those here for senior night.
Absolutely. Here come the Blue Tornado. Can the Mustangs weather this storm? We'll see. St. Hilaire, 6'4", 217-pound senior. In the backfield, we have a whistle, and looks like it's delay of game on the offense. So, marching back 5 yards.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of delay of game so far for both sides, so that's going to be something that I'm sure that communication-wise the offense needs to going to try to talk that over, and that's big for Lipscomb Academy to kind of get McCallie behind the sticks without really even having to do anything. So a nice advantage there for the Mustangs to start out here on this possession.
Ball at the 42, first down and 10. St. Hilaire dropping back. He's looking, he's going to throw, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for number 7, Matthew Abear. I believe he was covered by number 2, Bo Strickland.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, I think that might have gotten tipped by one of the big guys on the defensive line of Lipscomb Academy. That ball kind of fluttered when it left St. Hilaire's hands a little bit. I'm getting a look at the replay of it right now, and yeah, it does look like that might have been potentially tipped off of the right edge of Lipscomb Academy. So always something that you coach defensively. Make sure to try to get your hands up as a defensive player on that line. Worked out there for the Mustangs. Makes it second and long.
Second down and 15. McMahon splits out wide. Here's pressure coming. It's a quick screen set up. He's got room across the 50, to the 45, to the 40, and he is pushed down at the 35-yard line. That was number 15. I believe, if I am correct, Zach Chari, the senior tight end.
And the Mustangs, they blitzed a few on that play. They blitzed 5 defenders, and McCallie, they were ready for it, had that halfback screen. We talked about the dump-offs and the checkdowns being a massive part of this offense so far at night. When you blitz like that, it takes 5 defenders out of the play when they're going to do those types of plays. McCallie, that is. So that's a big one there for the Blue Tornado.
First and 10. St. Hilaire hit as he throws. It's incomplete. That was number 99, Tony Carter, up bringing the pressure.
Yeah, Big Tone, as they call him around here. You look at his Twitter bio, he calls himself the #1 disruption in Tennessee. That's high billing, and you saw he disrupted that play right there. St. Hilaire, he felt that pressure, was not able to get that ball out in time, and Tony Carter was able to get there. He has 8 sacks so far on the season, 11.5 tackles for loss, 99 down the middle for the Mustangs. Look out for him. He is going to be a problem potentially for this Blue Tornado offense if he continues to get back there.
Big Tone. Tone setter?
Tone setter.
Hey now. Second down and 10. Ball at the 37 of Lipscomb Academy. Here's St. Hilaire looking, throwing, incomplete. Intended for Abear again.
Right now, McCallie, they're looking at around 3rd and 10, and this is the first time we've seen them in a 3rd and long situation. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see if they kind of stick with the game plan, throwing it around 3 or 4 yards and letting those yak yards carry them the rest of the way, or do they maybe try to push the field a little bit, something that they have not had to do so far. So for the Mustangs, big play right here to kind of see what McCallie's going to look to do. The first time they force him to be in this situation, very intrigued to see what comes out of this and what that offense draws out.
3rd down and 10. St. Hilaire dropping back. He's looking, trying to set up the screen. There's Tabuteau, flag down. Tabuteau at the 35 to the 30, to the 25 to the 20, to the 15 to the 10, to the 5 to the end zone. But we'll wait and see about the flag thrown at the 40. And it looks like it's all coming back.
Yeah, that flag was thrown right at the line of scrimmage. And typically when you see that, that is a bad sign for the offense. And we saw the official right after that play as he was picking the flag up. He gestured over to the Lipscomb Academy sideline and gestured for a hold. So that's a massive shift right there. Not just because you're looking at 3rd and about 15, but that wipes the touchdown off of the board. So a massive shift potentially in this game. And if the Mustangs pull it out, that play is one to bookmark for later on.
Don't care if you are Lipscomb Academy or the 85 Bears. A hold that negates a touchdown always hurts. Fun fact, I once got to meet the head coach of the 85 Bears.
Oh, really? Okay.
Fun fact, he lives in Murfreesboro, so he's actually a Hall of Fame receiver in his own right.
Oh, okay.
Good stuff. I'll tell you about that story later.
I guess I'm not clear about that at halftime.
3rd down and 20. Crowd getting into it. St. Hilaire dropping. Pressure comes from the edge. He escapes to the 40, 45-40, 35-30, knocked out of bounds. They're going to say he's out at the 30-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down. He's short of the sticks, but that is something that I was told about Jay St. Hilaire. He's not considered a dual threat quarterback, but if you turn your back, he's going to take advantage.
Yeah, he's the guy that he has that ability. And it looks like McCallie with this favorable field position, don't want to punt here, can't kick the field goal. They're going to go for it here, and I don't blame them one bit.
We're going to get a timeout. McCallie, the Blue Tornado, will call a timeout to see what they truly want to do.
Yeah, and you know, this could be a potential shifter here for either of these two teams. McCallie, they need 3 yards to move the chains. Lipscomb Academy down by 7, trying to get a stop, get their offense onto the field. But something that's a big part of this too, CJ, that you have to remember, those 4th down stops, those are almost like turnovers to a defense in terms of the way they can shift the momentum. You get that 4th down stop, all of a sudden the defense is feeling themselves, the crowd has got juice to it, and you just really kind of feel that momentum kind of turn towards your side a little bit when you're able to get that 4th down stop, and you see your offense trotting out on the field. Even the offense can feel that a little bit as well when they get out there. So this is a play to where for Lipscomb Academy, massive opportunity for them to potentially flip this game on its head, especially considering that they thought they maybe were going to be down 20-7 after that touchdown got called back on the hold.
I don't know about you, but this feels like one of those moments that can tip the balance between the Blue Tornado and the Mustangs. We'll see what happens on this 4th down and what they decide to do.
And you've got options if you're McCallie too. You're in the position to where with the way you've been running the ball, you've got number 24 back there and Dejoe, and you got McMahon as well you can give it off to, and they're both capable of getting 3 yards where you can't try to dump it off like you have. So McCallie, they have the whole playbook at their disposal. They're going to be ready for anything.
You have Chari and you have Gentle. It looks like your heavy personnel is in. 4th down and 3. They're going to hand to McMahon. He's going to get across the 30 to the 25 to the 20 and knock down at the 16-yard line.
We said it there.
Move the chains.
Yeah, we said it there. You're in a position to where with 4th and 3 and the way the Blue Tornado have run the ball, you can give it up to McMahon for 3 yards. This is a guy that, as we mentioned earlier, averages 6.5 per carry, so you really just need him to get less than half of that, and that moves to 6. And that's exactly what McCallie did. It worked right there, and that feels like maybe a missed opportunity for the Mustangs. We'll see if they can make up for it as this drive moves along, but that's the play to where you would love to have gotten that one in the direction.
So the ball will be at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's St. Hilaire dropping back, throwing quick to Hebert. And he's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line. Gain of 7 as we go under 9 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, and once again, just a short little pass, about 4 or 5 yards from St. Hilaire to his receiver, and that's like, once again, that's been the name of the game for McCallie. I don't think they've had one pass that's gone more than 5 yards so far that I can remember, and for the Mustangs, that play right there, nice job wrapping up, making sure no more damage was done, keeping it at 2nd down. That's really been the big thing for the defense. So maybe not happy you gave up the amount of yards you did, but encouraging within the lines of the details of that play.
So they put it at the 9-yard line, so it makes it an 8-yard pickup, 2nd down. Everybody tied up against the line. Play fake. St. Hilaire running. St. Hilaire to the 20, to the 10, and knocked out of bounds close to the 5. I believe they're going to mark him out at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that 1st down marker is just a little bit past the 7, around the 6.5 to 6-yard line is where that's at. So for McCallie, once again, that run game, that's why this is a big factor. When you get on these down and distance situations, 1 yard is really all you got to get. You can just pound the rock down the middle with confidence. 3rd
down and 1. It looks like he's going to try it. Nope. He's going to give it to McMahon, and McMahon's going to fall forward, and I think he's got it.
And I don't know. Looks like they're going to mark him short. The sticks were not moving. And yes, CJ, they're going to say it's 4th in a matter of maybe a couple inches of the football here.
Wow. Nice stop by the Mustang defense as we see number 95, and I believe that is Leonard Jean-Charles limping off the field.
And that's big because Jean-Charles, he's one of those big guys down the middle when they're going to try to go for some inches.
And it looks to me like St. Hilaire has got it. Yep, 1st and goal.
Yeah, and that's why we were talking about that Jean-Charles injury was kind of big there, because that's one of your bigger guys down the middle that you would typically rely on to try to stop that QB sneak, have to make that late substitution. Not saying that would have changed everything, but still something there.
Pitch to McMahon. He's going to try and get to the edge, and he is in. Touchdown, McCallie. Blue Tornado McMahon's third touchdown of the first half. Wow.
Yeah, we said he was the X factor, and that's why they've been feeding him all night long. And so far, the Mustangs just have not had much of an answer for it. It feels like this McCallie offense, we talked about it earlier, they're not a team that's going to necessarily just blow your mind with these fancy, tricky, explosive plays, but they are fundamental, man. They have moved the ball down the field efficiently, and at the end of the day, as long as they're putting points on the board, that's what matters. There's not many better teams at doing that in the state than McCallie. You're seeing them do it at their finest right now.
Elliot Arnold's extra point is good, and so our new score is 21-7. Lipscomb Academy had a lot of work to do to get back into this one.
Yeah, and, you know, I think it's all going to have to start here with an offensive drive. There's still a lot of football left. 7:12 to go here in the second quarter. There's a lot of time here if you're the Mustangs, so you can't really get too down. You can't get in your own head. You have to stay within the moment and within the game, and you have to take it one possession at a time. But the biggest thing, I think, right now for the Mustangs is trying to find some momentum in this game. You're seeing McCallie kind of have their way on the offensive end ever since that first drive. We saw the Mustangs get it going a little bit offensively there with that touchdown, but unfortunately, we're not able to replicate that there on the last possession. So we'll see what they can draw up here, but right now, I think it's important to try to find your way to some points. You cannot let the Blue Tornado extend this lead past 14, because all of a sudden, if you do, you start to get into a point to where McCallie's pulling away a little bit further than what you would like to keep yourself in this game.
Lorick and Whitefield back to return, and they won't get a chance. It is into the end zone, and the Mustangs will bring it out to the 20-yard line.
I'm interested to see what this drive is going to look like here for the Mustangs. We've not called Zechariah Crockett's name a ton so far tonight. We talked about him, a pair of touchdowns in the last 2 games, 4 in total, and he's a guy to where I think they're going to need him. He has been running the ball about as effectively as anyone you can find in the state of Tennessee, in my opinion, over the last couple of weeks, and I think they want to use him. I really do, and you can't get too far away from that run game, especially with it being so early on and there being so many plays left here in this game.
So the Mustangs will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. We got a little end around. Trying to find space and runs out of it quickly as a host of Blue Tornado bring him down, but there's a flag right at the spot where he was brought down.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see the call there. If you want to get the ball in anyone's hands, it's Camarion Ward. He's one of the fastest guys on this football team. You give him the ball, and he's got some juice. Just McCallie read that play well, but we're going to have to see what the penalty is. Maybe if it's going to be 1st and 15, or if maybe the Mustangs can get some yards back.
Oh, and they will, because it looks like it was a face mask against McCallie. That'll add 15 yards to that play.
Yeah, that's big there for the Mustangs. We've seen penalties kind of have an impact on some of these drives. We saw McCallie, their second touchdown came after an unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of a play that was a loss. So maybe a little deja vu here. Lipscomb Academy, certainly hope so.
25, here's Kilberg. Throwing over the middle. He's got a wide open TJ Briggs, and he is down at the 47-yard line. 22-yard pickup for the junior tight end, TJ Briggs.
Yeah, nice job from Kilberg finding him in the Lipscomb Academy. I think they like something they have right now. They're running pace.
Kilberg, pressure coming. No, it's a screen. Ward across midfield. Ward taken down out of bounds at the 46-yard line. No, they're going to mark him at the 47.
Yeah, and again, Camarion Ward, he's a guy I like a lot. He is a speedster. When you get him the ball in space, he's going to make some guys miss. And a good job there from the Mustangs, kind of doing a little bit of what McCallie has done on the offensive end. Quick dump off, use some of that space, use their athletes to get some of those yards after the catch. Worked out for them right there. 2nd and 5. Great play.
Kilberg will pull it away from Crockett. He's got a wide open Briggs. They're using their tight ends now. Briggs gets to the 45 before Gentle corrals him by the shoulders and brings him down.
Yeah, we've seen both Briggs and Andy Smith utilize a little bit here so far tonight. And, you know, the Mustangs, they use some of those 2 tight end sets. They like to get it out to the receivers and their playmakers, but they use the 2 big guys that have some hands. So both Briggs and Smith especially caught a touchdown last week in the win against Brentwood Academy. They're going to be 2 to continue to watch out for, because they're feeding them the ball. And the more they have those 2 tight end sets, the more it kind of changes the defensive philosophy here of McCallie, especially considering that they may have not expected that so prevalently so early in this game.
Brings up 3rd down and 3, the ball at the 45-yard line. Kilberg will take it himself, and I think he is short. From my vantage point, that's what it looks like to me. We'll see what they do. 4th down. It's 4th and 1. They're going to call him a yard short. There is no quarterback on the field. I think that's Micah Burton in the Wildcat. Burton, he gets across. That's a first down pickup. The junior running back a little banged up, as I was told by Coach Mawai yesterday, but he is good enough to get the move the chains there.
Yeah, Micah Burton, before he did get banged up, he was running really, really well for this Mustangs team. Nice to see him get out there and get that direct snap. I don't think McCallie was expecting that really at all. And this is that time of year where you go deep into the bag of tricks. You pull out some of those wild card plays, some of those direct snaps to those guys that you know that when they have the ball in their hands, they can step up and make a play for you. Micah Burton did that right there. Keeps this Mustangs drive alive.
Under 5 to go is 1st and 10. The ball at the 41-yard line. Kilberg, play fake. Kilberg going deep. And nobody home, covered by Tipton. I believe that was number 3, Cam Blivens, the sophomore.
Yeah, he was looking for Blivens on that play deep. Unfortunately, just didn't get the separation. Kilberg had some pressure, had to kind of get that out. Blivens probably the best option, but just unfortunately a little bit too much air on it, a little bit too much to the right, and Blivens just not able to really create the separation for that to become a dangerous play.
2nd down and 10. Crockett coming back onto the field. Everybody tight, I would expect. They were looking to try and get somebody to jump, but Blue Tornado able to hold the water. Kilburn will hand to Crockett. Crockett unable to find his way forward. Ethan Serrano led the charge for the Blue Tornado, as did Bear Cortez, the junior linebacker.
That's a big one because that creates a situation where you're looking at 3rd and 8. So instead of a 3rd, a little bit more manageable, McCallie able to hold serve on that run play, and it makes the Mustangs have to push a little bit more in terms of that yardage. Makes that 3rd down a little more difficult.
A very important 3rd down. 3 receivers bunched. And Lipscomb Academy calls timeout. For the most part, I've been impressed with the play that I've seen in this first half from both squads. A couple of penalties have sort of changed momentum for both squads on separate drives, but for the most part, they're playing like 2 teams that have played. They were playing their 10th game of the regular season.
Yeah, and you know, you're also looking at 2 teams that are probably playing their best football that they have all year long. For McCallie, I guess you could kind of point at any point this year being 9-0, but for the Mustangs, they really have been heating up, it feels like, at the right time. Have won their last 2 games, beat a Brentwood Academy team that maybe doesn't have the record, but has plenty of the talent. We all know of the 5-star quarterback over there in McIntyre, number 1 in the country. We're able to beat him, and we're able to knock off Knoxville Catholic the week before in Knoxville in a very impressive victory against a good team. So the Mustangs, they've been heating up at the right time. They've started to gel a little bit. We talked about some of the inconsistencies in the lineup, some of the fundamentals that they struggled with on the field. But overall, this feels like the most complete that they have played all year long, and though they might be down on the scoreboard, I think you're seeing some of that on the field. Now it's just a matter of turning that into scores, turning that into results, and getting yourselves back into this game.
Third down, it's a big one. They're at the 39-yard line. Here's Kilberg looking, pressured, can't find anybody open, and it is, what's the ruling? That's an interception. I think that was an interception for the Blue Tornado. Yep. The posturing says that's a turnover.
Yeah, and that's one that Jackson Kilberg is going to want to have back. He tried to pump fake because he saw someone open and thought otherwise of it, and when he felt that pressure, he was just trying to throw that one away, but unfortunately didn't get it out of bounds, didn't want to take an intentional grounding penalty, and an impressive play there by the DB for Kilberg. You think it put that in the spot that no one can get it. Really nice job there from the defensive back of McCallie to be able to get down low and scoop it up before it hit the ground.
And that was Marcellus Barnes Jr. on the interception, his 4th of the year. And the Blue Tornado will start 1st and 10. Here's St. Hilaire throwing. Almost a catch. I believe that was number, I cannot make out who that was. Number 22 for McCallie. Ryan Larrabee, Chris Thompson on the coverage for Lipscomb Academy.
Yeah, that was the linebacker, Chris Thompson there. He didn't turn back to see that ball. I think he just kind of knew that one was coming to him. Maybe sensed it. These football players, man, they have that sense when that ball's coming their way. Kind of stuck his hand out there and was able to disrupt it just enough to where it didn't end up in a completion. Nice job there from the linebacker in man-to-man coverage. Deep in the field. It's not something you see them asked of often, but nice job from Chris Thompson there being in position to make the play.
Second down. They'll hand off. He's got huge hole across the 30. Down to the 33-yard line goes number 26, Keelan Siam. And he is a load at 5'9", 215 pounds.
Yeah, this McCallie team, they just keep rotating these running backs, don't they? I mean, Siam, he's a guy where he has only had 38 carries on the year, but he's averaging 5.6 yards per carry when he's out there, 3 touchdowns as well. So when it's not McMahon, you think you're getting the break. All of a sudden, you see number 26 trotting out there, and you have to deal with him. That whole backfield for McCallie is a problem that Lipscomb Academy is going to have to continue to deal with.
All right, first down. Here's Siam. He'll get another carry. And he fights his way forward to the 37-yard line before being brought down by Thompson.
Yeah, that's a good stop there. I think advantage goes to the Mustangs. Not too many yards, about 3 or 4 on that play. You keep McCallie modest, and now this is where that second down becomes important. You don't want to give McCallie the first. You don't want to get them in a favorable third down position. This is one of those plays to where you would really love to see the Mustangs get a tackle for loss, get a sack, try to force McCallie to walk backwards just a little bit to make it third and unmanageable, or even better, create a turnover.
St. Hilaire trying to set up the screen, and he does, to McMahon. McMahon makes a man miss before being corralled at the 39-yard line.
We just talked about it. You want your defense to make a play there, and they did that. Only allowed McCallie to get about a yard to 2 yards, and I think that's what you want to see for the Mustangs. Sure, McCallie gained a little bit, but it does make that third down a little bit more tricky than what you would like. 3rd and 4, that's not easy, especially considering that they're not in a situation like they were on the last possession where they could go for it. More than likely, they're not going to want to give Lipscomb Academy the ball in their side of the field if they don't get this third. So this is a massive chance here for Lipscomb Academy to maybe flip the possession here in this game.
We have arrived under 2 minutes in this first half. It's 3rd down and 4 at the 39. St. Hilaire is going to drop. It's a quick out to McMahon to the 40, to the 45, across midfield. He makes a man miss, and he's still going. 45 to the 40, to the 35 to the 30, and he is brought down at the 25-yard line. And on that play, it was all Javon McMahon.
Yeah, that was all Javon McMahon, and once again, we see him receive that pass on the screen. Just those dump-offs, those checkdowns has been the bread and butter all night long for McCallie, and the name of the game for that play, tackling for Lipscomb Academy. They could have had him right at that 3rd down marker. He might have been a yard short, but they weren't able to wrap him up. The man gets past the first down, breaks 2 more tackles after the play, and tackling, I feel like I sound like a broken record, but just those fundamentals, those are so important, being the difference in winning and losing football games, and the Mustangs, they've struggled in that so far tonight.
Here's St. Hilaire. He'll give to Siam. Siam knocked down at the 20-yard line. Leading the charge was number, if I can tell, that's number 7, Jace Williamson.
Yeah, and McCallie just continuing to stay on schedule, right? They get a couple of yards on 2nd, they get a couple of yards on 3rd, and then they continue to do the same thing on 3rd down. They're not blowing away with these massive explosive plays, but just managing and staying on schedule, staying in front of the sticks on these possessions.
So we have a timeout on the field. Timeout McCallie. 34 seconds to go in this first half. McCallie leads 21-7, and they have a golden opportunity for more points.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Blue Tornado, you are absolutely loving the chance to go up by 21 points potentially to end the half. There's 34 seconds left. Lipscomb Academy only has 1 timeout left here in this game. We saw Coach Mawai use a couple earlier, 1 in the first and 1 early on the 2nd quarter. So there's not a lot the Mustangs can do other than try their best to hold serve or to create a turnover and to capitalize on that. So McCallie, they have all of the cards in their hands to be able to extend this lead going into halftime. And 21-7 compared to 28-7, that's going to be a massive difference in how these two teams are feeling going into that locker room. So this is a huge couple of plays here coming up for both these two sides. It can very well shift the way we view this game going into the 3rd quarter.
And if you're Lipscomb Academy, you need to hold them out of the end zone, because if you do, you get the ball to start the second half. And it could be a whole different game. 2nd and 6. Here's McMahon. It's too high for Tabuto. That's a throw that St. Hilaire would love to have back.
Yeah, Tabuto, he's an athlete, but he couldn't climb the ladder to get that one. And that was a play where I think St. Hilaire, he saw 3 pink and gray jerseys right in front of him. He just was not able to get that throw off under the pressure and to get it off accurately. So that's one of those plays where the D-line made their impact on that play and threw it off.
3rd down and 6. Ball at the 21-yard line of Lipscomb Academy. Let's see what happens. St. Hilaire is going to drop. He's going to throw it to the end zone. Tabuto's there. Touchdown, McCallie. Keyshawn Tabuto over the shoulder grab, and McCallie extends the lead.
Yeah, and Keyshawn Tabuto, he had one-on-one with CJ Jim Coyley over to that right side, and we talked about him just now. He is an athlete. He can run, he can jump, he can do just about anything that you ask him to do. And St. Hilaire, he knew immediately who he wanted to go to on that play. That was designed for Tabuto to go on a fade route all the way to the right side of the end zone, and if he was going to be able to get past Jim Coyley, which he did there, that was going to be a play of a touchdown. No safety back there to help. Big play for McCallie, and they are looking real good going into halftime.
Elliot Arnold's kick is good, and it is 28-7 in favor of the Blue Tornado. And the touchdown catch by Keyshawn Tabuto.
You know,
It's his 5th touchdown catch of the season, and there's a growing sense that Keyshawn Tabuto is the next big thing in high school football.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned that this is a guy that is just a sophomore. the whole district's going to have to see this guy for 2 more years after this, and you know, you said it, they love this kid in the building. They've been really impressed, and you look at some of the guys that are going to be leaving the building, McMahon being one of them. You look at LeClaire, St. Hilaire, a lot of these playmakers for this McCallie team, they're going to be out the door in the next year or 2. Guys like Tabuto, that's the future of this Blue Tornado offense. So to see him making plays this early in his career against this team in Lipscomb Academy, as talented as they are, you know Coach Potter, he is absolutely loving what he is seeing, not just for now, but in the long view as well.
I don't know if it was a rumor, and I don't know if it has been said, but what I do know is that it was posted by Tabuto himself. He might have an offer from Colorado.
Coach Brian's taking notes. You're doing something right. You're doing something right.
So Lipscomb Academy will take over at the 20-yard line. Let's see if they want to try to get points with just 25 seconds to go. Burton on the field for the Mustangs. Bunch formation at the bottom at wide receiver. Here's Kilberg looking, throwing. He's got a man over the middle. It's a little flea flicker. That's an interesting, no, it's the Statue of Liberty. What am I talking about? Statue of Liberty, and they're able to get the first down. 17 seconds and ticking. And they'll clock the ball with 13 seconds.
And, you know, going back to last week against Brentwood Academy, there was a play at the end of the second quarter. Lipscomb Academy, they got an interception. Matthew Clay had picked off McIntyre, and they were right around their own 45-yard line. And Kilberg threw a Hail Mary-esque play all the way to the goal line. Caleb Beasley actually was able to go up and snag that right around the goal line. Lipscomb Academy, they were able to call a timeout, got 3 points on that play. They ended up winning by just 7, so they're around the point to where Kilberg, this is right around where he threw that ball last week. Just something to keep in mind, and I wouldn't be shocked if Caleb Beasley maybe tried out on the field after seeing what he did last week.
Empty backfield. Here's Kilberg throwing over the middle. He's got, I believe that is Blevins. So a quick timeout by Lipscomb Academy after the catch by Cam Blevins.
Yeah, and they're over the 50-yard line. Ball is spotted at the 46. I think this is at about the range to where Jackson Kilberg can hurl that ball into the purple end zone and maybe see if one of his receivers can go get it. And I think for McCallie, you're feeling good, but at the same time, if Lipscomb Academy can find a way to convert on this play, that would be a massive momentum shifter to have a play like that at the end of the half on senior night. Cuts into that lead to make it 14-28 potentially. And you mentioned it earlier, CJ. Remember this, the Mustangs get the ball back to start the third quarter. So we'll see what they draw up. I assume it'd be a Hail Mary. Maybe they try to do some pitching, kind of going around, tossing the ball around, backyard football type of play. But I think you throw this into the end zone and maybe hope that one of your receivers can come down with it.
So when I said flea flicker, I meant hook and ladder. Just saying. I should have gone back and watched that Boise State Fiesta Bowl from 2007.
That's one of the all-timers right there. That is one of the all-timers.
Absolutely. So this might be the last play of the first half. We'll see what happens. Just 2 down linemen for McCallie. Kilberg looking. He's going to throw it as high and as far as he can. It is there. It is knocked around, and it is incomplete. And that is how the first half will end, with the ball falling harmlessly to the ground.
Yeah, and that was a good throw from Kilberg there. He was under some duress, tried to get that in the end zone. That was Cam Blevins that was the closest one to it, but unfortunately just didn't bounce the Mustangs' way. Not what you want to see there in that first half scoreboard-wise, but still a lot of football to play, and they do get the ball back to start the second half. So we'll see what Coach Mawai and the Mustangs can do on the other side, but McCallie looking just about as good as advertised so far.
Halftime score, 28-7, McCallie in front. We'll take a break and come right back. You're watching Mustang football on YouTube Live. second half set to get underway here at the Lipscomb Academy. The Mustangs in a hole, 28-7. They trail the McCallie Blue Tornado as they kick it off to the Mustangs, and it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So again, CJ Eki here alongside Brandon Bixby. And Brandon, cold and efficient is how I would describe the Blue Tornado.
Yeah, meticulous, I think, would be a good word for it as well. We've seen McCallie just kind of move their way down the field steadily but surely, I think. And, you know, this is a team that we talked about in the first half. They might not blow you away with the explosive plays down the field and the deep shots. And I know everyone loves those highlight plays, but they move their way down the field. They give it to their running back in McMahon, and they find those playmakers in space on those dump-offs and those screen plays, and they let those athletes go and move their way down the field with those yards after catch.
First play from scrimmage, second half. Here's Kilberg looking over the middle. He's got a man wide open. There's Kamarion Ward making his impact felt, and he's down at the 45.
Yeah, Kamarion Ward, I mentioned him earlier. He's a guy that when he gets the ball in his hands, watch out. He is a burner out there, and you get him in some space in the midfield. That is what the Mustangs want to see, especially to start this drive and being down this game by 21.
That's a very good start if you're Lipscomb Academy. Let's see if they can build on it. 1st and 10 at the 45. Kilberg, they'll throw it out to Crockett. Crockett getting ahead of steam and going across midfield down to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Zachariah Crockett, I expect to hear his name a little bit more in this half. Didn't really get to see much of him in the first half just because of the way that the game flowed, but we mentioned that he's been one of the hottest players on this Mustangs offense. 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games, a pair of touchdowns versus both Knox Catholic and against Brentwood Academy last week, and both of those were wins, so a bit of a common denominator then. Crockett, they need him to get going if the Mustangs want to find their way back into it.
Comes out in motion. Here's Kilberg. Direct snap. He'll take it himself to the 45 and down to the 40. Across the line to gain. That's a first down for Lipscomb Academy.
Yeah, and this is really the first drive ever since that touchdown that we saw the Mustangs get earlier, to where we've seen them consistently move the ball down the field. When they get that rhythm going, you're seeing they're going with pace. Another no huddle for the offense here.
They'll hand to Crockett. Crockett slides through its defenders down to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep on going. They are going to sub out one of those offensive linemen, but aside from that, I think the Mustangs, they want to keep this rhythm going. Rhythm is such a big thing with an offense, especially one that has struggled just a little bit in this game so far. So to see them moving down the field, keeping that pace going is something we see Tennessee use a lot, that rhythm, that pacing that they like to do. A little bit of that here right now for the Mustangs, and it's working for them really well when you move the ball the way they have been so far.
8-yard run brings up second down. Here's Kilberg. Quick catch down to the 27-yard line is Dylan Lorick.
Another playmaker, we haven't called his name a lot, Dylan Lorick. He was kind of seen as wide receiver 1 coming into the season, has lived up to those expectations so far. A 3-star committed at East Carolina, and I gotta be honest, I think this is a guy that's going to be electric on Saturday afternoons and evenings this time next year. He is a guy that when he gets the ball in his hands, he can make some plays. Great contested catch guy as well.
Ball at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. Crockett will take it. Crockett will fight his way forward for a couple.
I like that for the Mustangs. You give it to your running back, your bell cow guy, and he gets you about 3 yards on that play. So, you know, maybe not the easy first down that I'm sure that maybe you'd like to see when you're moving it down like this, but you just want to stay on schedule, as you mentioned. Stay in front of the sticks. Make those 2nd and 3rd down plays a little bit more manageable for your offense. 2nd
down and 6. You love the design. Kilberg with the screen. It's caught by, I believe that was Lorick again, but he gets to the 20-yard line. He'll get a couple more.
And I like that, getting Dylan Lorick a little bit more involved. He was only targeted once or twice in that first half, so to see him get the ball twice now in the last couple of plays, really encouraging.
3rd down and 4. They really are increasing the pace here. Kilberg going to the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs! Dylan Lorick got wide open behind the defense, and just like that, Lipscomb Academy's back in it.
And Dylan Lorick, one of those seniors on this Lipscomb Academy team, finds his way in the end zone, and he was wide open. He could make the sandwich back there and still had time to make that play. And Kilberg read it all the way, one read, and it looks like there was a busted coverage there on that play for McCallie. No one in sight, really in a 5 or 10 yard vicinity of Lorick on that play. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Mustangs.
Pepper's kick, no, I believe, yes, that was Pepper's kick is good. And our new score with 8:53 to go in the third quarter, McCallie 28, Lipscomb Academy 14. And I want to note something that I saw on that drive. I've seen substitutions from receivers. I've seen running backs go out. I've never seen play-to-play substitution with offensive linemen.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be one of those things where if Lipscomb Academy wants to get their way back into this game, not only are they going to have to be efficient, but the clock is a big factor. You know, you're coming in down by 21. You lost the whole half where you're going to be able to keep yourself in this game or find a way to get ahead. So for the Mustangs, they're going to have to find their way to try to keep that clock managed while also making sure that they are being efficient with their offensive drives, staying within themselves, staying within the game plan. You know, that drive right there, that only took 3 minutes and 7 seconds. That's not bad at all. So the Mustangs, they get a couple of defensive stops. They keep having drives like that one. All of a sudden, you look up and they're right back into this game. McCallie, the pressure's on them a little bit, being that team that's undefeated and had that big lead, and things kind of fall on them to keep it.
Has do you respond? They will kick it to Carson Lawrence. Lawrence cannot gain any momentum. They're saying the ball has come out. We're waiting for a signal from the officials. Lipscomb Academy is acting as if they have the ball, and judging by the fact that I see Bennett Whitefield holding the football, we have a turnover on special teams.
And look at that bear hug from Kevin Moai on the sideline. He is loving every second of it. And I'm looking at the replay right now. It looks like what happened is that when they got that ball, he touched it. He didn't really get a full grasp on it potentially, and the Mustangs fell on it immediately. That's a massive, massive mistake there for McCallie. That was Carson Lawrence that was getting that one, and I don't think he got a full grip on it. The Mustangs jarred it loose, scooped it up, and we just talked about it. If you can get some stops and continue to have drives like that last one, you're back in this game, and all of a sudden the Blue Tornado give the Mustangs a gift. Now you have to capitalize. That's the difference for McCallie. They capitalized in the first. Mustangs have to do it right now.
Kilberg will hit to Andy Smith, the tight end. He'll gain a couple. This is a golden opportunity sitting in the middle of the desert for Lipscomb Academy. It's shining in front of you. Can you take advantage?
Something to remember as well, McCallie, they had a pair of fumbles last week, so that ball security has been a bit of an issue for them over the last few weeks, and we see it this time show up on the special team side, and it gives the Mustangs potentially 3 free points, or even worse for McCallie, 6 or 7.
Kilberg looking, throwing it up. Nobody home, incomplete. Kilberg felt the pressure and decided to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, just nothing really available for Kilberg on that play. Pocket started to collapse on him a little bit. Nothing really opened. And, you know, not a bad idea to throw that in the back of the end zone. If your receiver can make a play on it, great. But you throw it into an area to where it's pretty much in harm's way for the most part. It will be difficult for a defender of the Blue Tornado to make a play on that. But the biggest thing now, 3rd and long. What do the Mustangs draw up? Because they have not been favorable in these situations so far here tonight. But with this kind of opportunity, you have to find a way to capitalize.
Kilberg on 3rd down, throwing it up to the end zone. There's a man there. Touchdown, Mustangs! Bo Strickland catching the touchdown pass, his 2nd of the day, and we are an extra point away from a 1-score game.
And all of a sudden, everyone, it looks from Academy starting to feel it a little bit here at the Reese Smith Athletic Complex. And how about Bo Strickland? Kilberg just skies it up to him over at the back right part of the end zone. And he wanted that all the way. He looked at that entire way. That was his one read. Strickland got that one step on the McCallie corner and was able to snag that in the back of the end zone and give Kilberg a lot of credit. That's a difficult pass to make right there. Not a lot of room, covered by the corner on that pass, and he got it right in the breadbasket of Bo Strickland. And just like that, Mustangs, they're right back alive in this game.
My apologies. That was Kamarion Ward, the senior receiver in the corner of the end zone with the touchdown catch. So he has 1, Strickland has 1, the Mustangs have 21, and we have a game.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about the speed of Kamarion Ward. One-on-one coverage with the DB, was able to break past and get that extra step. That right there is what we were talking about. And Kamarion Ward, he's seen his usage increase a little bit as the season has gone on. Once again, another senior making a play on senior. Now, Kilberg is senior to Ward is senior. That's got to warm the hearts of every Mustangs fan out there with a lot of these players potentially coming on this field for the final time.
Wow. That's all I got to say. we got a game. Pooch kick, and it will be taken by Couvetier. And how will McCallie respond? 28-21, just like that.
And how do you feel if you're the offense for McCallie? You went in the halftime with a 28-7 lead, and before you even get back out on the field, it's a 7-point game. It's just the way this game can just turn and twist at the flip of a switch is just so crazy. It's why we love the sport. But now for McCallie, they've got to find a way to get their bearings straight, man, because if the Mustangs going to stop, they're right in a situation where they can tie this up.
Oh, McMahon has room, and he gets across the 30. That's a good way to start if you're McCallie, to try and ease your way back into it.
And with the way McCallie has been playing on the offensive end, pounding the football, quick dump-offs and check-downs to where they've been able to get yardage after the catch, I think that that's a great way to settle down momentum, because then your drives are not only long and sustained, but they're almost back-breaking and demoralizing in a way as well.
They'll hand again to McMahon. He fights his way forward before being gang-tackled by a host of Mustangs short of the sticks. It is going to set up third down and about, they're going to say 1.
And this place is going to go nuts if the Mustangs can get the stop, maybe a quick draw play.
They'll hand to McMahon, and he's going to be stopped short. Mustangs hold the charge led by number 9, Chris Thompson, and that's going to set up fourth down.
And if I'm head coach Ralph Potter, I think you have to contemplate going forward here. No momentum on your side. You just need a few inches. Your run game has been dominant. If I am coach Ralph Potter, I am rolling the dice. I'm keeping my offense on the field, and I am trusting my line and my offense to get me just a few inches, to get this momentum back on our side somewhat.
Crowd into it here. Fourth down and 1. They'll hand to McMahon, and I don't think he got it. He did not get it. Or he did.
Oh. They're moving the sticks, CJ. They're going to say he got that.
I don't like that one.
And I think the fans agree with you. They are not loving that call. That looks short to me.
It looked short to me as well. But in the event, it is a first down, and St. Hilaire's pass that is intended for Nolan Sargent falls incomplete.
Yeah, and remember, that ball was going to have to get around the 45. I'm looking at CJ, we're looking at the replay right now. I'm not seeing how he got there. He didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
He did not.
Stunned that they called that a first down.
Wow.
Massive, massive call in favor of McCallie. That's one that Lipscomb Academy, they got beat on that one. That is very, very unfortunate for the Mustangs.
Second down and 10. Ball at their own 36. It's St. Hilaire keeping around the left side, thrown out of bounds. I believe he's going to be short of the sticks there.
And you never want to say about officiating impacting a game, but you're talking about a situation where the Mustangs are going to have the ball in McCallie territory, all the momentum on their side, and just like that, it almost feels like some of the air got sucked out of the stadium a little bit. You saw the crowd was rocking, they were feeling it, they were jumping around, everyone was happy, high-fiving and hugging. And then that call goes into the way of McCallie, extends this drive, but you got to let all of that go now. 3rd and 3, another chance to get a stop. And if you're the Mustangs, you just have to take advantage. Can they get the 3rd down stop and do what they thought they did the last time and force McCallie to get their defense back onto the field?
3rd down and 3, ball at their own 42-yard line. It is McMahon, and he's not going anywhere. Who made the tackle? Number 99, Tony Carter.
I told you, man, Big Tone, he's been that guy down the middle, and I think that he is a player that college coaches are getting a much bigger look at this year. He has been probably the #1 emergence on this Lipscomb Academy defense, and you see the crowd's feeling it. The players are trying to hype him up, and McCallie's punting unit now out on the field. They feel a comeback happening here on senior night.
Loss of 1 makes it 4th down, and the Blue Tornado going to punt. Bo Strickland standing back at his 21. The kick is away. It's away from him. and they get away from it, and it's going to bound down at the 14-yard line, and that's where Lipscomb Academy will take over. 5:12 to go in quarter number 3. It is 28-21.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it feels like this is all Mustangs in terms of the momentum. I don't think they could have dreamed up a better first 7.5 minutes of this third quarter than what they've gotten so far. You start out down 28-7, you get a nice touchdown drive, move your way down the field, and then right after you get a fumble on that kickoff that gives you the ball on the 25-yard line. Your quarterback makes a beautiful throw to Kamarian Ward in the back of the end zone. This has been picture perfect for the Mustangs. Now they got to keep it going.
Kilberg looking, throwing, pass caught Ward at the 25 to the 30 to the 35 and out of bounds at the 36. Kamarian Ward making his presence felt here in this third quarter.
Yeah, Kamarian Ward, he is becoming a story, and it frees up some of the other guys like Crockett, like Lorick, like Smith and Briggs. We saw those 2 tight ends active earlier. The more you start to get more players involved, the more you have to think about if you're McCallie's defense, and that gives opportunities for your teammates that are those playmakers.
Man comes in motion, second down. Oh, first down. Kilberg, he's going up top. It's his trouble. It's incomplete, intended for Beasley. And I believe that was Carson Lawrence, the safety there in coverage.
And I think that's one of the examples of a situation where, as a coach, you want your quarterback to kind of slow down and not get too caught up in the moment. I know it's really high emotion. There's a lot of energy and buzz in the building right now, but that's a throw to Caleb Beasley that was not open. Double coverage was going to be a tough catch for him to make. I think that if you're Coach Kevin Mawai, you would like to see your quarterback be a little bit calmer in that decision, scan the field for maybe 1 or 2 more reads. If you don't have something, take off and run or throw it away.
Second down, pop pass. Here's Strickland. He's trying to get to the edge. And can he get there? Yes, he can. He gets a couple before being brought down. I believe that was number 5, Phil Bothod.
That was a nice play from Strickland because it looked like he was going to get caught at the line of scrimmage, and instead of it being 3rd and 10, it ends up being 3rd and 6, and it gives the Mustangs a little bit more wiggle room here in the playbook.
Third down, Kilberg looking over the middle. It's complete, and I believe that's going to be a first down. There's Dylan Lorick again. Moving the chains are the officials on the sideline. It's first down and 10. Lipscomb Academy, the ball at their own 49-yard line.
Something to keep in mind, this McCallie defense, they've been on the field for pretty much the entirety of this third quarter. Some of that stamina going to become a factor. You know, you do a lot of that training in the spring and summer. Moments like these, that's when it comes into play, because the Blue Tornado defense has got to start feeling that a little bit. Some of that tiredness being on the field so long.
Kilberg dropping back. He's got time. He throws. Caught by Lorick at the 40 to the 35 and out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds by Lawrence. That's another first down for Lipscomb Academy.
And the offense is just a well-oiled machine, it feels like right now. The Mustangs hitting their marks, players, you know, the line blocking, the receivers getting open, Jackson Kilberg making the reads and hitting his receivers in stride. And this is what a fine-tuned offense looks like at any level. This is the Mustangs offense that I think we've seen the last couple of weeks that we didn't see in the first half, but you're starting to see it. And it looks like there was some maybe extracurricular at the end of that play. The Mustangs are getting another 15 yards for a McCallie penalty.
They call unsportsmanlike conduct on the Blue Tornado, but the bigger story is we see number 11, Dylan Lorick, with a slight hitch in his walk on the sidelines.
Oh, and I saw what happened there. I believe it was the defensive back of McCallie that said something at the end of that tackle, and the officials heard it, saw it, and called it similar to what Lipscomb Academy got knocked for earlier.
Kilberg on first down looking. He's looking to the end zone. Nope, incomplete, goes out of bounds, intended for Caleb Beasley.
Yeah, you're seeing he's trying to get Caleb Beasley involved, another one of those seniors, the defensive back wide receiver hybrid, and looks like he's going to trot off of the field now. But, you know, those long passes on first down, they can kind of be a feast or famine kind of thing. If you complete it, it looks great, but if you don't, you're looking at second and long, and you're trying to really find a way to get some yards to make it third and a little bit more manageable. So it'll be interested to see here what the Mustangs draw up here on the second down play.
Second down and 10. The ball's at the 20-yard line. Lorick, screen to Lorick, to the 20, to the 10. He makes a man miss at the 5. Did he get in? No, he's going to be marked short. He's going to be marked at the 1-yard line. A spectacular effort from Dylan Lorick, nearly gets him 6.
And how about the upfield blocking on that play there by Lipscomb Academy? The O-lineman pushing to continue to give Lawrence more.
They're running no huddle. Here's Crockett. He's in. Touchdown, Mustangs. Dylan Lorick makes it happen, and Zechariah Crockett finishes it off.
And if you thought this building was jumping 5-10 minutes ago, you should hear them right now. They are absolutely loving it. And all of a sudden, from 28-7 down against the #1 team in the state, Lipscomb Academy an extra point away from tying this up in the third quarter.
Pepper's kick is good. We are tied at Lipscomb Academy, 28-28.
You love this game, don't you? You just never know what you're going to get. You never know. That's why they play the game. You know, down 28-7, it's easy to go into that locker room, hang your head down, and say, that's an undefeated McCallie team. It's 9-0. They're top in the state. They're one of the top 25 teams in a few rankings in the country. It would have been easy to pack it in. But the Mustangs, they came out and they did everything they needed to do, took it one play, one possession at a time, and all of a sudden have clawed their way back into this game with every bit of momentum in their favor.
Amazing, amazing. So Nolan Sargent, and I believe that is number 24, Keyshawn Tabuteau, back deep to receive the kick from Cy Pepper. It's another poocher. Kuvich, nope, it's going to go back to Tabuteau, and he's going to pick it up at the 15 to the 20, to the 25 to the 30. He's still on his feet before. Brought down, did he fumble again? Oh, boy, that was close.
He did. There was an arm on that football. Tabuteau was trying to spin out the tackle, and it looks like McCallie did get it. They motioned over to their end zone, but Tabuteau, he broke a couple of tackles. He tried to break a last one. There was an arm on that football right at the end of the play as it spun out. That was number 15 for the Mustangs in, I believe, Micah Burton. Yeah, Micah Burton on that play. They got a hand on that football. The running back making a special teams play almost got the Mustangs another turnover.
1st and 10, and this crowd is into it. St. Hilaire will play fake. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be caught by Sargent, but his knee is down at the 41.
Good spot there by the officials to notice that the leg was down, and that was almost a disaster for McCallie because St. Hilaire, he really had to extend that play as he almost got sacked, and luckily for him and the Blue Tornado, able to get that dumped off to his receiver to get a few yards and get something out of that one.
Second down and 7. It's a 3-yard pickup. Ball at the 41-yard line. We're under 2.5 to go in quarter number 3. Man in motion. He'll hand to McMahon. McMahon looking for space. Cannot find it. He is dragged down by the ankles by Thompson again. It's going to set up 3rd down.
And what do you do here if you're McCallie? Because that run game that seemed unstoppable in the first half, the Mustangs have started to catch up with a little bit. They're tackling a little bit better. They're more secure in their positioning. You know, it's not a sure thing that if you run this ball down the middle with McMahon that they're going to get that 1st down. So all of a sudden, you have to think a little bit more off to the side of McCallie, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do here, needing really 2 or 3 yards. Very similar situation we saw with them on the last possession where they didn't get it.
3rd down and 3. Crowd loud. St. Hilaire will pitch to Tabuteau. He can't get to the sticks, and he's going to be swarmed under. The charge was led by number 5, C.J. Jim Coyley.
And you talk about one of those playmakers on the secondary, C.J. Jim Coyley, the 4-star corner is most definitely one of them. Plays a little bit of safety as well. Beautiful job tackling. It looked like Tabuteau was going to be able to break out of that originally, but look at the stick-to-itiveness of Jim Coyley on that play to stick with him. Almost lost it, was able to wrap him up there at the end and wrap him up to get that tackle.
Kick is away, and it's going to bound out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and the Mustangs will take over with 48 seconds to go and a chance to take the lead here.
Boy, and how good are you feeling? And you want to know who's really feeling good? Number 13 in pink, Edwin Spillman, not playing tonight with an injury, but he's one of the seniors on this roster. He's dapping every Mustang up that he can find right now. He is absolutely hyped to see what his teammates are doing out here right now with this comeback.
The Mustangs seemingly left for dead in the first half, down 3 scores. And in the blink of an eye, we're tied, and they have the ball. It's 1st and 10 at the 27. It's Micah Burton with the carry. He cannot beat the edge. I believe the tackle made by number 5. I believe Phil Bothott.
Yeah, nice tackle there from Bothott.
2nd down, here's Briggs. He gets across the 30 to the 34-yard line. And as the seconds tick away, will Lipscomb Academy get one more play? 3rd down and 3, 7 seconds to go. The clock ticks. And they get 3 yards.
Wow.
They got the hard count.
We've seen that a couple of times, trip McCallie up in this game. Jackson Kilbury, he's looking like a pro NFL quarterback. He has mastered that hard count so far tonight. We saw them make the Blue Tornado jump earlier in the first quarter on the first play. They do it again, but in a pivotal point, 3rd and 3. Who needs to snap the ball when you can get that hard count and get those free 5 yards? And this Mustangs crowd, electric on this beautiful Friday night.
3 down, 1 to go. It's tied at 28. We have more coming for you. 12 more minutes. I love it. Back 4th quarter. It's 1st and 10 at the 39 after the penalty. Here's Ward. Ward with space. Ward with speed. Ward gets across the 45 to the 46.
And we're seeing the Mustangs offensively. They're doing a lot of things that we talked about McCallie doing so well. Just getting those passes, those quick short passes to their speedsters in space.
Ward comes in motion, goes back. Still waiting. Kilberg will take the snap. He's looking. He's pressured. He's going to scramble out. He's going to decide to run and then slide. Close to midfield, down to the 49-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and no, they're going to mark him at the 48. So it'll be 3rd down and about 1. Burton in the backfield. They'll give to Burton. Burton fights his way across midfield, and that's a 1st down.
What a job there by Micah Burton. Just slipped through the grasp of Jaden Huggins-Key on that play. The defensive lineman thought he may have had him wrapped up, but Micah Burton, he's one of those guys, those legs keep on turning. He is a hard guy to bring down. They saw it right there firsthand, and it got the Mustangs to 1st down.
1st and 10, Burton not going to get much.
And now it's a matter of a numbers game right there for the Blue Tornado. Just one Micah Burton and about 3 defenders that are ready to bring him down behind the line of scrimmage. And You know, that's not what you ideally would like to see for the Mustangs, especially when you have so much momentum, but I don't think you can be too bothered by with the way you see your offense rolling and moving down the field.
Kilberg, quick pass, incomplete. And a late flag, really late. Thrown from the back judge.
And they're going to get the call on pass interference. It was the corner, Marcellus Barnes Jr., that had the interception in the second quarter. He had his arm wrapped around Dylan Lorick as he went up. That right hand held the right hand of Dylan Lorick on that play, impeded his progress to make the catch. Referee thought about it, replayed that play in his head and said that was pass interference. McCallie fans might not like it, but if you see the replay, definitely the right call. Impeded Lorick's progress to get to that catch. Automatic penalty leads to the first down.
It was a very late call. It was also the right one. 1st and 10 at the McCallie 35-yard line. Man comes in motion, it's Crockett. Kilberg will run. He'll dive forward for a couple. Down to the 33-yard line.
And I don't mind that if you're Lipscomb Academy. You've seen Kilberg have that ability to use his legs a little bit. He got a first down, actually, on a play earlier, very similar. So you know that can work for you if you call it. And it's one of those things where they have used that 4-receiver formation over to the right or left side a couple of times. So, and it's not just been on the run. So it kind of throws McCallie off a little bit. Maybe didn't get a lot of yards, but I like to think it.
Kilberg will take the snap. He's going to look. Pressure comes, and he's going to be brought down. Bear Cortez with the cleanup, but there's a penalty flag sitting at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I didn't catch what that was for. Kilberg was trying to make something happen. Maybe should have thrown that ball away when he didn't see anything open, but so much easier said than done when you have so much pressure breathing down your throat and just not able to really get that ball off in time for
the indication is we have a personal foul. It's a face mask against the Blue Tornado. Uncharacteristic mistakes by the Blue Tornado have Lipscomb Academy knocking on the door of the end zone again.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things, it feels like the stories have flipped. The problems we're talking about with McCallie are the problems we talked about with Lipscomb Academy in the first.
Ward, another pop pass. He tries to find space, but is unable to, and he's brought down just at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Kamarian Ward tried to cut back middle rather than completing that end around over off the left edge, and he just didn't have the space. And looks like Kamarian Ward, he's trotting off the field here as well. But yeah, he might have gotten up a little bit gimpy after that play as well, which, if that's the case, that's a big factor for Lipscomb Academy. Kamarian Ward, he's been one of the biggest reasons that they've marched down the field so many times with this comeback. So just a small storyline to potentially keep an eye on here.
But the clear and present is an injured Blue Tornado player, unable to see who it is. I'll tell you what, this is the part of the game that you never like to see it. And it looks like it is number 33, Bear Cortez, the junior.
And that's big. Bear Cortez, he's one of the star defenders on this team. Second on the team in sacks with 5.5. He has 12 hurries coming into tonight. So that is one of the better pass rushers that this McCallie defense has. So that's just another wrinkle here in the story that keeps on turning with this game. Bear Cortez, you know, hopefully we get to see him back out there. Really talented junior. He's made a lot of plays tonight. And like you mentioned, that's the part of the game you hate to see. So hopefully he can get back out there soon.
So the ball sits at the 20-yard line. It's 2nd down and 10. Empty backfield. Here's Kilberg. He's going to throw. The pass is caught. Caleb Beasley out of bounds inside the 15 to about the, I want to say, the 13-yard line.
And how about this? 28-28, 8:53 to go. Mustangs are rolling, and now they're in a situation where they could very well take their first lead of the game. They don't have to score a touchdown, do so either side. Peppers can kick it from this range.
Kilberg will, no, he won't. He's going to throw it. There's a man open. He makes the catch. He stretches. What's the call? They're going to say he's short, but what an effort from Kamarion Ward.
Oh, and he just went down. He just went down there at the end of that. He was limping, and I mentioned he got up a little gimpy after that one play, and he was trying to run off the field, and he fell down immediately there.
Ward down on the field after making the play. It looked from my vantage point, yeah, he was trying to get off the field and just something gave way. So obviously a tough situation to be in if you're Lipscomb Academy. You're knocking on the door, but you may have just lost one of your most skilled receivers.
And one of your seniors as well. One of those seniors that have been honored tonight, and Kamarion Ward, he's had a memorable night. And like I mentioned, he is a massive reason that Lipscomb Academy find themselves in this situation. So, you know, I hope he's able to get up, as it looks like he is getting up a little bit of a limp, but he is walking off. That is a beautiful, beautiful sight to see here for everyone.
If I had to guess, somebody might, look, I'm not a doctor, but it looked to me like somebody may have caught a cramp. And trust me, I have stories on catching cramps. And if you were wondering, yes, I have stories on just about everything.
You're a storyteller for a reason, my friend.
That's what this business is all about. So we're sitting at the 1 yard line. Kilberg is going to force his way into the end zone. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Lipscomb Academy has the lead. Jackson Kilberg sneaks it in from 1 yard out. And the Mustangs are in front for the first time tonight.
In front for the first time tonight, and they do it in style. How about this, CJ? 27 unanswered points since halftime for the Mustangs. They were down 28-7. The extra point for Cy Peppers would make it 28 unanswered. But man, who would have thought we'd see this? The Mustangs obviously did. They've come out of the halftime locker room a totally different team. And now they hold the lead here on senior night over the #1 team in the state.
But it is not a 7-point lead because the extra point is no good.
Ooh.
So our score with 8:26 to go in the match, 34-28, Lipscomb Academy in front.
And that's big. That extra point is big.
It could loom large down the stretch.
Yes.
I love games like this.
It's why you do this, isn't it? It's why we all love not just football, but sports in general. And especially with a night like tonight, senior night, so many amazing players and people being honored. To see Lipscomb Academy with that early adversity down 28-7, to come out into the third quarter looking the way they have, to me, that just shows you what this team and this program in general is about. And like I said, this isn't any team they're doing it against. They're doing it against the McCallie team that has been dominant all season long, 9-0, #1 in the state, top 25 in a couple of different national polls, 56 on MaxPrex. This is a team that's really good, and they're doing it well.
Another pop-up kick, and I believe that is Tabuteau. And he's going to take it. He's trying to get to the edge, and he will get out of bounds inside the 30, close to the, I think they're going to mark him at the 32-yard line, and that's where McCallie will take over.
You know, Tabuteau, he's a guy that it felt like we were calling his name constantly in the first half. We've not heard much from him so far in the second, and a lot of that has to do with Lipscomb Academy's defense, taking away some of those playmakers like Tabuteau and others. And you're hearing the crowd really make their remark known. We don't talk about that much in high school games, but right now, McCallie's offense, they're feeling it.
1st and 10 at the 32. McMahon will fight his way forward for a couple. They're going to give him 3. 2nd down and 7 as we approach 8 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, and for McCallie, you just have to wonder what you have to do to get the ties to turn. They haven't gone for many big plays, but this is maybe one of those moments where you do go for that big play that you have to try to get something to spark your team.
2nd down, quick throw. 22, he's going to get to the 41-yard line. before being brought down, and I believe that was Ryan Larrabee, the backup tight end.
And another third down. McCallie, they've struggled on third down here so far in the second half. This one a pretty favorable one for them, 3rd and 1, but nothing a given as we've seen the Mustangs' defensive line, the front four, has really stepped up here over the last quarter and a half.
3rd and down and a very big yard if you're McCallie. Looking, and he fights his way forward, and I believe he got it. Javon McMahon, the ball carrier.
Yeah, Javon McMahon, he's one of those guys to where he's never down until the whistle blows, right? I mean, it looked like he was dead for rights there on that play, stopping the backfield, but just somehow kept those legs moving, was able to push forward, got a little bit of help from a couple of his teammates to push forward as well, and that's a big play there for McCallie to keep the drive moving. They have to find a way to get something here on this drive with the way this game is turned.
So the chains move, it's 1st and 10. The ball at the 44-yard line of the Blue Tornado. McMahon goes in motion. Empty backfield. St. Hilaire dropping back. He's looking. He's going to leak out the pocket. He's going to be across midfield. He takes on a tackler, and he is brought down at the 48-yard line. He was met by number 9, Chris Thompson, the junior linebacker.
You know, something that's been really impressive with Jay St. Hilaire, the 3-star Vanderbilt commit, just his awareness in the pocket. He just seems to have that feel and that sense of when to step up and to make that throw or when to take off and run and make a play. And we talked about this earlier, not a guy that necessarily is just known for his scrambling ability, but we've seen him utilize his legs and make some plays off of the night. Very, very impressive stuff for the senior.
It moves the chains, that run did. It's 1st and 10. In Mustang territory. St. Hilaire pressured. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw over the middle. It's intercepted! It's intercepted by number 19. It's... Who was that? Matthew Clay, the senior tight end, with the interception. It's Mustang ball inside the 30-yard line.
Big play, Clay makes it happen. How about that for the senior on senior night, Matthew Clay? We just talked about with St. Hilaire, his ability to scramble out, and that's one where he should have taken off and ran, tried to get those extra yards, got a little bit greedy, and Matthew Clay swoops in, picks it off in a beautiful return all the way to the 26-yard line, and everyone here at the Reese Smith Athletic Complex is feeling it right now. 5:49 to go. Mustangs up 6, and if they score a touchdown right here, the undefeated Blue Tornado could very well be going down.
5:49 to go. The ball on the 27-yard line. Matthew Clay with a big play. He molded it himself, and it's a 1st down, and we have a timeout. Timeout, Lipscomb Academy.
And I don't know this for sure, CJ, so, you know, this is just me wondering or maybe theorizing, but you wonder if the noise maybe affected that. That was the crowd was very loud during that. You maybe wonder if the communication for the offense was not necessarily all there. Obviously, a massive play, a lot of emotions in the building. When you have a 28-7 comeback and you find your way up ahead, and then you get an interception return like that. But, you know, it is important for the offense to all be on the same page there, and I highly doubt that Coach Kevin Mawai will want to kill off any momentum. So you maybe wonder if that noise had a little bit of something to do with that timeout being called. Just a theory, though. Just a theory.
Just a theory, and it's got legs, I think. But in any event, if you're Jay St. Hilaire, you cannot throw back over the middle of the field like that. That's an inviting disaster. But in any event, it's 1st and 10. Kilberg will hand. Here's Burton. He takes people on for a couple. And I believe he's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line. No, 24. Nope, they're going to put it to 23.
You know, just kind of put a bow on what you just said there, CJ. Jay St. Hilaire, he's a guy that's not made many mistakes tonight, but 4th quarter is when you have to amplify that, and I think that's a throw that's going to be replaying in his mind if McCallie doesn't find a way to get back in and win this game. And you mentioned it, throw off balance, opposite side of the field, you're already running. That's when he'd like to have back. The Mustangs have got to capitalize and score off that turnover.
Here's Crockett. Crockett fights his way forward for a couple. He fights his way down to the 20-yard line before being dragged down by a gaggle of white shirts.
Yeah, and big 3rd down. big, big third down now. Less than 5 minutes left. Mustangs up. You know, this is around Cy Peppers' range, but we just saw him miss an extra point. So how much confidence do you have in kicking the field goal here if you don't get it? And it's kind of one of those things, a bit of a risk-reward factor here that the Mustangs offense has got to think about.
3rd down and 3. Kilberg keeps it. Kilberg is just going to eat it. He is going to be sacked, and I believe that was Carson Gentle, the Tennessee commit, making the play.
Yeah, the Vols commit a little quiet so far tonight, but he made a play when he needed to. And, you know, we just talked about what do the Mustangs do on 4th down, risk versus reward. Right now, looks like Kevin Mawai might be keeping his offense off the field. Now they're going to go ahead and try off. Maybe we're thinking about it there for a minute.
So what are they going to do? They're going to, looks like they're going to attempt a field goal. They're going to attempt this from the 23-yard line. It is.
And there is no wind in the air.
It's going to be 40 yards. It is leaking to the right. No good. Cy Pepper's kick is no good, and McCallie still has life.
They still have life, and for Jay St. Hilaire, a second chance. You know, you had that turnover there at that last possession, one that, you know, we talked about he loved to have back, but luckily for him, his defense steps up and makes a play, and if I'm correct, CJ, you know, correct me if I'm wrong here, that is the first drive in this entire second half that the Mustangs did not come up with points. So this is really the first time McCallie's been able to hold the Mustangs at bay, and with 3:37 to go, looking real similar to last week where McCallie was going up against Knoxville Catholic. At Knoxville Catholic, they were down late in the 4th quarter, and Jay St. Hilaire drove his team down the field and got a touchdown with less than 2 minutes to go to win that game by 4. So this is very familiar territory for the Blue Tornado. Mustangs have got to be on their P's and Q's here.
Ball's at the 20-yard line where McCallie will take over. St. Hilaire, it's a double pass. Here's Sargent. He's throwing, and it's complete. Catch is made by Javon McMahon, and the ball will be placed at the, let's see, the 39-yard line. 1st down, McCallie. We're under 3.5 minutes to go in this game.
A lot of bells and whistles on that play. We've seen McCallie keep it simple all night long, but when they finally do kind of go into their bag of tricks just a little bit, works out pretty well for them on that play. So 3:28 to go, as you mentioned, CJ. McCallie here starting to kind of get things going a little bit in terms of the play calling, and I think that in a situation like this, you kind of have to go a little bit deeper in the playbook than what you would like to.
We had a player shaken up, and that was Tabuto getting stretched out on the field, but he is up and now on the sidelines.
Yeah, they're going to want him out there. That's an electric player in Tabuto. 2 touchdowns in the first half. Hasn't done a whole lot in the second half, just as a product of the way that the game has gone, but he's a guy that they're going to need him back out there. Looks like he should be able to get back out soon.
Amazing. So we're on the 39-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Here's St. Hilaire. He is dropping back. He's looking over the middle. It's caught. There's Nolan Sargent. He makes a man miss at the 40, and before being dragged down by a host of Mustangs that led by Matthew Clay.
Yeah, nice job from Matthew Clay sticking with him on that play. He only had one arm on him, and it would have been easy for him to lose that tackle, but was able to get him wrapped up, had some help with a teammate, and now the Mustangs keep it at bay here on the McCallie drive.
We're under 3 minutes to go. It's 2nd and 7. The ball at the 43-yard line. St. Hilaire dropping. Quick screen to McMahon. He's going to take on a tackler and be brought out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. I believe the tackle is made by number 9, Chris Thompson. The junior linebacker has been everywhere tonight.
He has, but he has to be careful because that wrap-up tackle was on the sideline a little late. And these referees, they've not been shy to throw the yellow flag out there. So just little things like that you do have to look out for. But nice play from Thompson. Keeps McCallie in a situation where they have to convert on a 3rd down, and it applies a little bit more of that pressure on the Blue Tornado.
3rd down and 1 yard to go. St. Hilaire will hand, and I believe the second surge will get him the 1st down. Who had the ball in his hands? It was Javon McMahon.
And it was the push on the backside at the end of that play that was able to get McMahon safely across the line for that first down play. And we see it so many times that extra push really is the difference. It was on that one as well.
The extra storm surge gives him a first down, and Jay St. Hilaire will roll. He'll throw. It's caught. He is stopped by Bo Strickland. That catch was made by Nolan Sargent, the senior receiver.
And time is starting to become a factor here. 34-28. Mustangs are up. 2 minutes left in the game. You got to keep an eye on the times for both these sides.
St. Hilaire dropping back, looking. He gets out of the pressure, and he will run for the first down. I believe he's going to get out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Nope, at the 39. They're going to say at the 39-yard line, and in the event it is a chain mover, it's a first down. He got out of bounds, and he stopped the clock.
And now you're starting to think about that extra point a little bit now. McCallie in Lipscomb Academy territory, starting to move down the field. Easily the best offensive drive they've had in the second half. And again, less than 2 minutes remaining. There is no guarantee that Lipscomb Academy is going to see the ball again if McCallie scores. So, you know, you start to kind of think about some of these little things, and Lipscomb Academy going to have to be ready.
So St. Hilaire will drop. He'll set up the screen, and it's deflected at the line of scrimmage. That was Jean-Charles getting a hand up on the football.
Yeah, Amir Leonard Jean-Charles, the talented D-tackle for this Mustangs team. He made a couple of plays earlier to where he actually was making a factor. Him and Tony Carter, they are a dynamic duo down the middle. You saw him get his hands up on that one and make a play as well. And you know, those are the little things, those deflections that make a difference. It doesn't always have to be a sack or an interception or a fumble. Little fundamental things like that you get taught in practice show up at the end of games like this.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 39-yard line. St. Hilaire waiting for the snap. He will take it. He's going to look over the middle. It is deflected and incomplete off of the hands of Matthew Hebert.
Oh, and that's one Hebert. Hebert, he'd love to have that one back, I think. Real quick play, and it looks like there was a flag at the end of that one as well, and McCallie, they are instantly walking back.
What was the call? It was holding on McCallie.
Wow.
And they declined the penalty, so it will be third down and 10.
Now that's interesting. They declined the penalty to make it 3rd and 10. I think that's understandable, but you almost feel like you value the yards more in this situation with the way McCallie's moved down the field.
You might have a point, but hey, with this crowd and everything else that's going on, you want the noise. It's third down. St. Hilaire will run, and he's not going to get much. No, now they're saying the ball is out. The ball is out, and I think it was recovered by a McCallie player. So it's going to be fourth down.
Here's the biggest thing. Even though that McCallie recovered the fumble, remember, he was not down. So that means that the original yardage St. Hilaire got, that goes all the way back past the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th and long, game on the line. McCallie wants to call a timeout. Coach Carter wants to talk about it. And everyone in this stadium is standing on their feet right now. One play away the Mustangs could be from potentially pulling off one of the comebacks of the season in high school football in the state of Tennessee.
It is our job to have words for moments like this. This one is program changing. If the Mustangs can hold here, this is a defining win, a signature win for Kevin Mawai in his first season as head coach. But they need to hold them to 12 yards, under 12 yards on this play.
And look out for Tubato. He is lined up in the middle of the slot, the left side. Caleb Beasley is the one shadowing him.
Fourth down. St. Hilaire drops back, looking, he's pressured, and he's gonna go down! He's brought down by number 36, the senior Michael Hubble. And that, my friends, is how you put an exclamation point on a historic night in Nashville.
Michael Hubble, the senior, makes the play on his night, on his fellow seniors' night. And McCallie, the undefeated Blue Tornado, the top team in the state, may have just been knocked down.
1 minute and 25 seconds to go. Lipscomb Academy have the football in McCallie territory. And we have a stunner.
Remember, still some time and some timeouts for McCallie. Have to have clean exchanges here and no turnovers. Can't fumble, can't lose the snap.
And
Job's
can't have potential penalties, like a delay of game. That's tough.
Yeah, job's not done. It's easy to get caught up in these moments, but you still have to execute a clean operation. That's got to be the message here for the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs. Clean operation, clean snap, clean handoff, clean, clean, clean is the name of the game. If the Mustangs do that, they've got to win potentially in their back pockets.
Burton will take the carry. Burton will slide off left tackle, and he's going to get to about the 46-yard line of the Blue Tornado.
And a nice job from Burton, too, making sure to stay in bounds. It looked like he was probably going to be wrapped up, but you know the McCallie defenders are going to look to try to push him out of bounds. If so, Burton just kind of gave himself up and went down, and smart to make McCallie use that timeout with 1:19 to go.
Timeout, McCallie.
Burton, he got up a little gimpy, actually, and it looks like he's actually getting helped off the field.
That is a tough one. It's been a tough couple of weeks for Micah Burton, the senior. Oh, he's a junior, excuse me, has battled through some injuries in recent weeks. And the kid's been gutting through it.
Yeah, you hate to see that for anyone, but especially a guy like Micah Burton. I mean, he's one of those guys, he's one of the toughest runners that you'll find in the state of Tennessee, always fighting for extra yards. More times than not, he's getting extra yards. And, you know, he's one of those guys, you know, he's missed a little bit of time this year due to injury, but gutting through it here with his team on a special night. And he's been effective. He's been very, very effective. So that's something to look out for. It looks like Zechariah Crockett's going to check in to do the carrying duties here for the Mustangs, but just something to keep an eye on here because Micah Burton is that power back that the Mustangs would love to have here in these situations.
2nd down and 12. Ball at the 48-yard line of McCallie. Kilberg will hand to Crockett. Crockett off left tackle. He's got space, and he's got a lot of yards, and he's going to be down at the 42-yard line. McCallie takes another timeout.
I believe that's their last one as well. Took one on the 4th down earlier and took 2 back-to-back. So that's the last time McCallie is going to be able to stop the clock. So if you're Lipscomb Academy, if you get the 1st down, you know the game is over, but the biggest priority is making sure you stay in bounds. You keep that clock running. And realistically, you know, you pooch punt this, you coffin corner it, you put McCallie inside the 10-yard line. The Blue Tornado, realistically, are only going to have around, give or take, 20 to 30 seconds to be able to move down the field, and with no timeouts, they can't kick a field goal. They have to have a touchdown to tie or potentially win the game. The biggest message, stay in bounds. Don't be surprised if they try to run a bit of a misdirection to the right side or directly down the middle. I'd be stunned if they run this towards the left side.
3rd down and 5. Burton back on the field. Burton dragging people, but he's going to be brought down. I don't think he got very much, maybe a yard.
And there was 1:04 left on the clock when that whistle was blown, so the play clock will move along from there. McCallie, they'll get the ball with around 24 seconds left. And it looks like that's really what the Blue Tornado are going to have to operate with. They're going to drill down every second of this clock, though, if they can.
Worth noting, McCallie has not lost a game. Since when? Since November 18th, 2022, which was the state semifinal loss to Montgomery Bell Academy. As the clock ticks down, and Lipscomb Academy will theoretically call a timeout, with 14 seconds to go, the Blue Tornado are in danger of losing their first game in almost 1 calendar year.
Yeah, and that was a game they lost by just 1 point. They weren't up 28-7 in that one. They lost 28-27. They actually came back from down a couple of possessions in that game, in that semifinals loss. And, you know, this is a McCallie team. They are 42-6 since the year 2020, including the playoffs. Haven't lost more than 3 games since 2017. Haven't had a losing season since 2015. And head coach Ralph Potter, he's in his 16th season here at McCallie. So, you know, he's a guy that where he's been around the block. He is really built up this powerhouse program. His father was the coach for McCallie. He played for him in the early 80s. This is a team that's used to winning games like this, not often for them.
Snap is good, punt is away, and it's a spinner, and it's going to be, oh, there's a flag back near where the punter is. Are you kidding?
Cole Schulman got run into at the end of that play. That's going to be roughing the punter, an automatic first down for the Mustangs. That just wrapped it up, I believe.
Unreal. Running into the kicker is the call. It's a first down. And the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs they're gonna run away with the win.
You want to talk about special? That's special. Down 28-7. Lipscomb Academy fight their way back. Defeat an undefeated team, #1 in the state. How about those Mustangs?
And look at Kevin Mawai. Look at this man. Look at him embrace everybody. Look at the fans running onto the field. Look at the students jumping about near midfield. Final score, Lipscomb Academy 34, McCallie 28. A stunning upset here in Nashville.
That's a beautiful way to put it, CJ. And you see they're having a party down at the 45-yard line, and I don't blame them one bit. Party on, Mustang Nation. You guys deserve this one. That is the game of the year, in my opinion, here in the state of Tennessee with high school football. Absolutely amazing. A thriller between these two. What fight. What a comeback from Lipscomb Academy. You want to talk about what this team is embodied of? That game right there showed it.
Final score, Lipscomb Academy 34, McCallie 28. For Patrick Carpenter, for Jeff Romero, for Brandon Bixby, and for everybody watching, listening, my name is CJ Ecke. Thank you for joining us tonight where the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs deal the McCallie Blue Tornado their first loss since November 28, 2022. Final score, 34-28, Lipscomb Academy. Good night, everybody.